Oh, it is episode 30, coming off a very hot weekend for...
I won in every facet of life on Sunday.
4-0, baby!
Matty was quite happy.
I was very hard all Sunday.
Matty
was Juice Robinson.
The Broncos finally got a win. He got to witness Danielson and Zach Sabre Jr. Dev is 4-0 in fantasy.
The only undefeated team in our fantasy league.
He is. Yes.
Well, we'll get it. We'll get into that. I was actually looking at a few things, but anyway, we are here. It is RAWBall Tuesday. I don't even know where to. There is so much going on.
Well,
baseball, football.
Dev, by the way, Dev, you've had the second easiest schedule. By the way, that's why you're 4-0.
You coming up with excuses.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that was projected to win all of his games and didn't.
Who set the pace in the league this week in points?
Which you did. Good and record for not only yourself but the whole league as a whole. Almost 160 points.
Good. Yeah, he made good trades. He made good trades. Maybe he'll.
Congratulations. Yeah, and congratulations on having one of the best, probably one-off weeks in fantasy football history.
I've faced the sixth toughest schedule. Dev has faced the second easiest. So I think that has a lot to do with our win-loss record.
You lost to.
You haven't played the Dallas door match yet. You haven't played.
I will. I've played Buck. I've beaten Buck.
You did beat Buck. Well, that was a fluke. That Buck beat me. It was a fluke that the doormats beat me.
It is, in fact, RAWBall Tuesday.
I look at every loss as a fluke unless I just absolutely get pounded into submission.
So I do have a limited amount of time that I will be on screen. As I told the boys earlier, I'm getting a cat today. So
Little Miss Rain.
Let me just, before we get into any wrestling talk, anything else, fantasy talk, baseball, this Sunday was, in fact, the single greatest wrestling match I have ever watched.
Yeah.
I have never.
It's match of the year this year.
It is match of the century. It is match of all time. I have never seen a match that was so technically beautiful but physically violent.
I was going through them today, like must watch matches. Cap will agree with not 75% of them due to the participants, but Danielson Sabre Jr. is on that list.
It is the modern blueprint for what technical wrestling should be in any stage of wrestling, whether you're in sports entertainment, if you're in pro wrestling, if you're doing some random shindy down the street. That's the match you watch if you want to be a technical wrestler.
Yeah, like if you want to see a match where two guys that are the best at what they do, no shenanigans, no bells, no whistles, just go in and
these
wrestle.
Guys put on like a 35-40 minute technical classic, beating the shit out of each other. There was no blood, and Moxley was ringside.
Moxley on commentary was fucking gold.
Moxley on commentary was actually really good.
He pissed off JR though. I kept hearing his underhanded, come on, man, really?
Well, I mean, JR is the greatest commentator in professional wrestling history, and Mox is arguably one of the worst things to ever happen to pro wrestling.
But dude,
having to sit next to him for that.
JR has fallen off so fucking far.
Unfortunately, yeah.
23-12 the match went.
23-12.
There really aren't any great commentators anymore that I can think of apart from
Nigel McGuinness.
I haven't really heard much of Nigel McGuinness's work.
He did really great work in NXT. I think the work he's doing in AEW right now is exactly
Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly's great. I like Kevin Kelly.
I do like Kevin Kelly.
I really liked Morrow, but he's not announcing wrestling anymore.
No.
Ian Riccoboni.
Really good.
Yeah.
I mean, Shivani and JR were at one time the two best for the two top companies, but they are not.
Shivani is there to be what JR was to WWF back in the day. He's the lovable commentator that you can put in the ring and interview people.
Yeah, we don't have. We're still waiting for that next great commentator who is
Wade Barrett,
Corey Graves.
Cap's not a fan of Graves. I've always been a really big fan of Corey Graves. He fits the role that he's been put into, which was mid 2000s Michael Cole or the JBL role.
Yeah, the grimy bastard heel commentator.
I noticed nobody.
Michael Cole's legacy has been tainted because he had a certain jackass in his ear, and also Michael Cole's voice just annoys the living shit out of me.
I love Cole. What was that though, Davey?
Oh, nobody has said Booker T yet.
Oh,
Shuck
yeah.
it, duck it, quack, quack.
Quack.
I don't even know what he's saying half the time. Like, and the thing with Booker is, he's been in the business so long. Like he knows so much stuff.
Okay, yeah. So
the
I've
brand
got
that he's
about
on.
30 minutes with y'all before I go off screen.
He could
Are
be
you
so
coming back
informative.
or you?
Maybe. I will be here as the producer, but I will be here. All right, but yeah.
While we've got you on, I mean, let's.
That was my spiel on the match. It is the greatest match I've ever seen. Go watch it. If your favorite match is better than that, you're fucking lying to yourself.
I have not seen the match. All I heard was you guys' commentary over it.
If your favorite match is better than it, Cap, you're lying.
And somebody showed up Sunday, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mr.
Adam Copeland arrived,
and he kept Metalingus because his best friend is the fucking lead singer of Alter Bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very indifferent on it. I think it's most of Tony Khan's signings, other than CM Punk, where they're just kind of there. But I've always been a fan of Edge. I've never thought the fact that he has as many world championships as he does. Like, I never saw him as the guy. I think he was just
expected him to be a 7-time world champion.
I think he was the guy Vince went with because Vince had no one else that he was willing to put into that spot. But Adam Copeland did his level best to carry that spot as well as he could.
I will say at first,
I have nothing against him. I wish him well. I just don't want to see him get hurt. Just like with his comeback, it's like, dude, do your thing, but please don't get hurt. That's all I care about.
But I think this is good for him. Only thing that he really wanted to do before he retired was probably work with Christian one more time.
Yeah, I can see that.
The Hardys are also there. He said he's back as a full-time in-ring competitor, that he'll be there for every Dynamite, but I think that'll only last for like a year, if that.
Yeah.
How old is Copeland?
I believe in his
42, I think.
But he's an old 42 with that neck injury. I
don't want him doing the shit Sting is doing. That's without.
Oh God, that's a whole other thing that I could.
Isn't he on his last month?
I have no idea. But Edge, on the other hand, he's still got quite a bit in the tank, and he's got so much knowledge to impart on kids like a Nick Wayne, a fucking Jungle Boy. He's got so much knowledge that he can.
Yeah, but some of these guys have had guys there for so long they won't listen to them, and it just makes me think
that's a generational difference. Because look at some of the kids and look who they've got. I don't think some of these kids were growing up watching Malenko or Jerry Lynn, but I can guarantee you they were growing up watching
Jerry Lynn, Malenko, Arn Anderson, Jake Roberts, Sting, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson. They've had
you Sunday, Matty. Sting has said this is it. This is his last year. This year's end is fast approaching its end.
He's what, 62, 63?
64.
Jesus.
Edge is 49, by the way.
49?
49.
I thought it was like 42, 43.
But if you follow that path of what they did there Sunday, Sting is going to be on his way out.
Very soon.
Right. So Edge is now siding with Darby. So that takes
okay,
that
I can see where you're
right.
going with
So
that,
that
baby.
so that takes
I could
that
see
spot.
that. I could
Nick
see that.
Nick Wayne at 18 years old is now working a program
With
with Christian Cage as his mentor in a heel
And his
role,
stepdad.
and with Adam Copeland and Darby Allen at
Two young
18.
guns with two old
and
vets.
That is not building up the
Sting is
next.
still probably around there too. So you know
Oh, Sting will be. Yeah, Sting will be there. He just won't
but
be.
like
what he's
Nick
doing.
Wayne is currently at 18 years old in a feature role that people could dream of in their fucking 30s and 40s.
Hell,
Yeah.
we even
Yeah,
got Athena helping out Billy Starks. Athena's
and
like
other
mid
ones.
thirties.
Nick Wayne is an absolute prodigy. MJF is
And
what, 25, 26. Clock's ticking to make him a superstar. Nick Wayne, in what I've only seen probably a handful of his matches, maybe even less, and I was convinced within watching two or three of his matches, like this kid has absolutely got something.
Yeah,
Uh,
and this heel turn for him is going to add more layers to it. And the turn, by the way, goes back to Darby with Nick Wayne's father. In real life, did have a falling out, so they
oh,
incorporated that.
yeah.
Like into what they're doing. So this has been
Nick
played out
Wayne
now
in
quite a
this
while.
situation, as you said, Davey, having in this what we saw this particular poker game we saw Sunday of having Christian Cage, Sting, Adam Copeland there as working with him, and I mean it kind of says it all. If you've got those three guys whose ear you can chat with and get, I
And
mean,
look at the era that they were a main part of. Like Nick Wayne has invaluable fucking knowledge that's coming to him from
Yeah.
so many directions right now.
yes.
I just wish more people in AEW would take that type of
Well, I'm thinking that because Nick Wayne is not an AEW baby, and that he was not. Uh,
He was signed when he was 16. He had Darby gave him the contract in Defy.
which is
that Nick
still
Wayne hasn't had to marinate in the toxic, you know, atmosphere that is AEW's. Oh, we're here. We don't need to listen to anything. You know, Hangman Page, Jungle Boy, horse shit. The fact that he's as young as he is, as good as he is, and that he now gets to work with Cage, Copeland, Borden. I'm hoping that he will be that guy who kind of looses himself out from under the guys who don't need to listen and will,
And Nick
because
and Nick
if
comes
you
from
match
a
his talent and you get it to him upstairs,
yeah,
sky's the limit for someone like Nick Wayne.
and Nick comes from a wrestling family. Buddy was a
Yes.
wrestler and ran a wrestling school, so he's
But he wasn't that good.
literally. No, he wasn't. No, but a lot of trainers in any sport.
Well, again, he's 18. I mean,
We're never.
the fact that he's as good as he is right now blows my mind.
Oh no!
Yes,
no,
improvement
it's the same thing
can
with
still be
Billy
made.
Starks. There should be no kids that just got out of high school that should
Yeah.
be doing shit more impressively than people that have been doing this for 20 plus years.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you
when
look at
I
Matty.
saw him, I literally thought this guy, if he's given the right coaching, this guy could be the next. I saw three guys in him. I saw Brian Danielson, I saw Jeff Hardy, and I saw Ricky Steamboat. Those are the three
I
names.
look at Nick Wayne, and all I see is Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah,
Nick Wayne,
those are the
I
three names
see-
that jumped in mind when I watched him work. And yeah,
Nick Wayne is a combo of AJ, Osprey, and Kenny. I see a really
Yeah.
young version of them.
I can
well,
see that.
everyone knows my thoughts on one of those guys.
Hey, as much as you can hate on Omega, Nick Wayne is very impactful, just like Omega's moveset is incredibly impactful.
Nick just doesn't have the weight.
No, he just doesn't have the weight behind him. He doesn't look like
Which
a
will come.
heavyweight.
No, I mean he's 18.
Yeah, I mean, he's still 18. Let's
Give him
give
to
him
Brian Cage
time
for
to
a couple of months. I want to see how that works.
look at how much muscle MJF has packed on in the last couple of years. Like he has worked his
Yeah.
body.
It's just like Ospreay. Like both men have become true heavyweights over the last couple of years.
Ospreay looks phenomenal, and I'm Ospreay not always my style, but I've enjoyed what few of his matches that I've seen, and I think Ospreay he's a superstar. The guy's got it. I mean, we got a great crop of guys coming up. If some of these old bastards will get the fuck out of the way, MJF, Ospreay, Nick Wayne, Darby Allin,
but who helped
Austin Theory.
But who helped get Max where he is? Danielson, Punk, Mox, right? They bought Cody. All older guys.
Okay, every name you mentioned
vets.
except one.
All vets.
Oh no, dude! If it was not for that program with Moxley, and you can't even argue this, if it wasn't for that program with Moxley, MJF wouldn't have been able to show that specific side that he can in those programs.
And those young guys and girls are getting the reps into.
And the thing is MJF and Mox did that in front of nobody, and they still had a very large audience during that time.
Yeah. But that's how you do it. The older guys slowly bring the younger guys along.
I would actually say this, and this may be to Davey's credit. I think I'm starting to hate John Moxley more than I hate Kenny Omega. Because
Really?
at least Kenny Omega, for all of his hoo-ha bullshit that he does, can still work a pretty damn good match. John Moxley may be eclipsing, like, it's like, what Ole, I hate to be quoting Ole Anderson here. So many dumb fucks have come along that you've actually gone up in my estimation without really doing anything. Omega hasn't really changed his game, but Moxley is still such a shithead and doesn't understand a good goddamn thing about professional wrestling and how to work a match. That at this point, I'm starting to say I would rather watch what Kenny does than fucking Moxley. Jesus fucking Christ. At least Kenny can work a match with an Okada that goes an hour, 2 out of 3 falls, and looks like a legit wrestling competition versus Moxley, who can't take a piss without bleeding from his forehead. Anyway.
But
yeah,
other than the wrestling, my Broncos won. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
1-3. You're going to the Super Bowl.
Going to the Super Bowl. Every come up has a fall down, right?
Got to start somewhere. Everything starts with
Matt, you are far from digging yourself out of that grave you already dug.
We stumbled hard. This Sunday's dominant performance is what's going to lead us to a Super Bowl.
Dominant.
Shut the fuck up, Devin.
That's what you would call that?
Being down 28-7 and coming back in a heroic win over the Bears.
So, in all honesty, 31-28 is not how I expected the Bears Broncos to go. To be honest, I was expecting a lot less points, but also I wasn't expecting Justin Fields to have a career day where he went for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and had a perfect QBR going into the third fucking quarter.
And I was just going to say that, like, to be honest with the Broncos, they're a very hard team to figure out through 4 games. Like, are they?
We're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Thank you.
Are they what we seen Sunday with the big comeback, or are they what we seen the week prior?
Yeah.
Well, hold on, because we had a big comeback against the Commies. We just got fucked over on a pass interference call that didn't happen.
The Broncos, and I've told Matty this in our messages, the Broncos are not as bad as they look. They are too talented to be this bad. And we all know whenever there's a new head coach, new regime, you're still sort of sorting things out. I don't think the Broncos are as bad as Bill
We're not
Parcells,
as bad as
Bill
people
Parcells, one of my all-time favorite coaches, said, "You are what your record says you are." Which, at the end of the season, he is right on that,
at the end of the season.
more or less. But this early in the year, I think the Broncos are more like 2-2 than 1-3,
Yeah, we are.
and I think they have the talent to finish with a winning record. Maybe not a playoff team, but
even you say 2-2. Like realistically, we should be 3-1 because we should have beat the Raiders week 1.
no, you shouldn't have.
We should have.
I said you guys are going to lose week
Again, I
1.
will
You guys
say-
are going to beat them the next time.
Again, I will say we should have won. What did we not have? Brandon McManus. We should have beat the Commies week 2. Guess what we didn't have? Brandon McManus. We lost our first 2 games by 3 points in total. Had we had a competent fucking field goal kicker, we would have won both games.
You've got Lutz the Putz. What more could you ask for?
He's a putz.
No, I mean the Broncos are not a 3-1 team. I think they're a 2-2 team. The Miami game.
No, the Miami game, without a shadow of a doubt, was a loss.
Every single team every year has that one game, and this is the true throughout the history of football. Davey, I know you'll back me up on this. Every single team, no matter how good or how shitty, has that one game a year that you can basically throw out because of whatever. This game is not indicative of these two teams who are playing. Like some wire blew, and this team is not that good. This team is not that bad.
Yeah, there's generally that one game that's kind of an aberration. It's like, okay, not them.
Yeah.
Cap, as you so eloquently put that, mind you, the Broncos still put up 20 points in that game against Miami. That's about 3 touchdowns. That's a good game for most teams. The Dolphins just decided to go and fucking score 10 touchdowns in one game.
7.
No, 10. It was
10.
7.
Oh yeah, 10. Yeah. Well, and again, that's why I say the Broncos are not as bad as Miami made them look. The Dolphins are not as good as Denver made them look, as we saw with Buffalo when they played a team that is fairly well competently ran. They did not look that good. And let's just get into the scores here. So the Lions beat the Packers on Thursday night. We were just talking about Broncos Bears. Bills beat the Dolphins 48-20. The Dolphins scored as many points against the Bills as the Broncos scored against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are not as good as they appear to be. The Broncos are not as bad as they appear to be.
No,
that was the point I was trying to get across there. And the Bills, now that Tre'Davious White is out with that torn Achilles, the Bills I'm still not buying because who have the Bills?
Number 2 running back.
The Bills lost to the goddamn Jets. They still have a lot of makeup work to do with me.
Oh yeah, no, they lost to Zach Wilson's Jets.
They lost to the Milkman.
They played Rodgers for 4 plays, took him out, and then the turf took him out, and then they lost to Milkman.
They lost to that defense, not to Milkman.
I mean, yeah, I don't think. What is the Jets' defense exactly?
Shit.
Somebody explain. No, because at times they are on fire, and you can't do shit against them. And then
it's one of those classic examples of a team that is, that famous picture of the scales of justice being balanced. The Jets are the reverse of that. Their defense is so good that if their offense can it reminds me of some Steelers teams back in the day where if the Jets offense can score 2 touchdowns, maybe if the Jets offense can score 17, 20 points a game, that defense is going to take care of the rest of the job.
Problem is, though, they got the turnovers. They have to stop that.
That's not going to stop so long as Milfman is under center.
Yeah. But if you're handing the ball back too many times, it's just law of averages. They're going to score. Whether it be whether they're racking off field goals or they pop in the touchdown. Seen it last night.
Yeah.
Fumble.
I mean, let's look at Dev. Let's go back to the. I know these. We're kind of picking Nat shit out of Pepper here. We're looking at two different eras, but that 2000 Ravens team, that defense was so dominant.
The offense didn't have to do shit.
Yeah, but
essentially, Trent Dilfer just had to get through the game without pissing himself. And
defense carried they allowed, I think, like 96 total rushing yards for the entire season.
Shutouts.
5 shutouts, and there was like 20-something yards that they were able to actually like pass.
A 100-yard rusher all game. The Jets' defense is supremely talented and very well coached. The problem is their offense is so fucking bad that it drags the whole team down. If the offense can just get competent enough to where they can score a couple of touchdowns, a couple of field goals, score 17, 20 points a game, that defense is good enough, provided they don't get hurt, that can carry them to a winning record. Maybe. But they have to. There's some knots to get out of these lines here.
And the Jets were. I don't think the Jets will win that division. Not with Miami and Buffalo in it.
No,
so they were a bubble. No. They were a bubble playoff team even with Rodgers under center.
I always thought that they were.
I wouldn't say bubble. They were a lock playoff team with Rodgers. Without him, they are scrapping for every morsel they can get. Rodgers would have gotten them to the playoffs. They might have lost in the first round, but Rodgers would have gotten them to the playoffs.
You say they're a lock. Would that be a lock for the wild card, or would that be them winning the division in your eyes?
No, that'd be them just getting into the playoffs as a wild card team. They would have made the playoffs.
Even at this point, I would not be the least bit surprised if Miami takes this division.
It's Miami and the Bills, and it's going to come down to. So the Bills won the first one. We'll see what happens when they play again. But yeah, Jets have a lot of work to do. My Raiders, they shat the bed again, as I predicted they would. They lost to a one-handed Justin Herbert, which now worries me because he's my fantasy quarterback. He has a fractured middle finger.
On his non-throwing hand, right?
Non-throwing hand, though.
So he can just club that shit up and go out there and still play.
Well, they're on their bye this week, so he's got 2 weeks to heal up. He's going to be wearing that brace for a while.
I was going to say a broken finger can take anywhere between a couple of weeks to several months.
It varies depending on the level of the fracture.
Yeah.
I'm still petrified about it because anytime I see my quarterback with a brace on his hand, whether it be his non-throwing hand, his throwing hand, his jerk-off hand, whichever hand it may be, I don't like to see that because that still is kind of gets into that back of the mind of a quarterback. Hey, I've got one wing. And if he takes one bad sack and that hand gets even further injured.
Yeah.
But I will say, this wasn't a game that, made you guys look bad in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, it did.
Y'all had Aiden O'Connell out there as quarterback.
Khalil Mack sacked us 6 times.
That makes sense.
6 times.
That makes sense because you guys are the Raiders and you guys treated him like dog shit.
And we have we treat him like dog shit. We have no offensive line. We have no quarterback. We have no defense. I mean, we're pathetic. It was 24-17 was the final, and honestly, it was more like 24-3, 24-7.
There's one more Raiders story we haven't covered yet.
Oh yeah, the Chandler Jones.
The Chandler Jones whole debacle that's gone on out in Vegas. Cap, what have you kept eyes on that? Because that's one of your edge rushers.
Essentially, from what I can gather, is
they put him in a fucking mental hospital. No.
Yeah.
Like they forcefully put him in a mental hospital.
He was forcibly committed, as the old phrase goes. Exactly. I mean, I know it's been some off the field, domestic, what have yous that have gotten him in this spot, but it's to me I've paid attention, but it's a non-story of the season, and that this is what the Raiders do. We have guys like this who do fuck up shit like this that we just this is the Raider. This is life as a Raider fan. Arrests and mental hospitals. Trust me.
Hey, Raiders fans and Broncos fans. The one thing we can agree on: the ride never ends.
I
Well,
had murder and domestic abuse in my team.
I think you guys are suffering for that with all the injuries you guys have sustained over the last decade.
Yeah, thank you, Ray Rice, you son of a bitch.
London, the Jags basically pissed down the Falcons' throat because the Falcons can't play footballs.
And the Jags own London. It's a given. Like
and they're playing in London again this week.
Oh, they're doing they're doing what they did last season.
Back to back
Where they
Londons.
play?
What was it? The Jaguars that did it last season, or was it the Colts that were there 2 times last season, back to back?
The Jags this week are in London. They play. Come on. The Jags play Buffalo.
And maybe the Jags are still going to own London, or they get their asses kicked.
That is a huge test for Jacksonville. Second huge test of the season, but they already had KC.
See again that KC game with them. I don't know if is KC just really that discombobulated, or is Jacksonville, whenever they play a team that has that level of talent, do they just? I
think KC right now is more reputation than performance.
Yeah.
Because of Travis and fucking Taylor.
Yeah.
Also, hey, if any of
I'm not saying they're a bad
tuned
team.
into this podcast for absolutely no reason. Hi, I hate all of you because he's part of the Chiefs.
Well,
Also,
now that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are, now that TS and TK are the biggest story in all of media.
Still not even the best Kelce Swift connection in the NFL. That belongs to Agent Zero and number 69.
Damn, Skippy.
Right, it's Kelce we're 69, right? Or is it 62?
62.
Okay.
This is what happens when a team gets to the level the Chiefs have gotten to in the last few years. Remember, Brady started dating Giselle, and the Patriots didn't make a Super Bowl for 10 years.
Yeah,
Chiefs and Kelce, this is what happens when you hit elite level of stardom and you start dating. Well, you start getting into that. It's one of those.
So as much as we all know who Travis Kelce is and what a dog he is in the NFL,
but he's turned into a schmuck. He has got Patty Mahomes' dick so far down his throat he's shitting cum.
But the thing
that is the problem with Travis Kelce these days.
Is we all know him in our football sphere. Hell, a couple wrestling fans might know him because of the shit that he spewed during the postseason last year. The general public, mainstream media have no fucking clue who this white guy is or why he's so popular right now. All they know is that Taylor Swift is forking this guy, and he now has over 1 million new Instagram followers. NFL sales for his jerseys have gone up 400+%. This is a fucking good thing for football, as much as I hate to say it.
And now the new Heights podcast is one of the biggest.
It's still one of the biggest podcasts right now.
It's a good thing for Travis Kelce, but I think it's going to be an even better thing for the teams in that division because, as Mickey Goldsmith said in Rocky, women weaken legs. And we've seen what the Chiefs' offense looks like when Travis Kelce ain't there. Let's just see how much of that forking and spooning drains from this gentleman and this media attention.
You say it drains. What if this is the fountain of youth for Travis?
Yeah.
There is no way in hell her music is not even close to being good.
I'm talking about her
but
music.
What about her game?
We might be disrespecting Taylor Swift's game right now.
Well, until she gets an OnlyFans account or that video gets leaked a la Pamela and Tommy Lee.
Buddy, she's made so much money, and OnlyFans is the last thing on her fucking mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only thing her fans are salivating over is the song that is going to come up out of this breakup when it inevitably happens. Yep.
I mean,
All I'm saying is AFC West. Let's just pray that Travis Kelce's mind is in the bedroom rather than in the film room.
I'm wholeheartedly hoping that he's more invested in the fame than the actual game. Fame over game. That's what I want Travis Kelce right now.
Yeah, he's got a documentary.
Go do you.
Podcast. Taylor Swift.
Just stay the fuck
Well, it was like
star tight end for
when
KC.
in Mid-South when Bill Watts was still, heading at Mid-South, and Grizzly Smith left Mid-South to go book for Atlanta, and he was doing such a poor job booking for Atlanta that Grizzly wanted to come back to Mid-South. Bill Watts paid him $500 a week to stay in Atlanta. So it's kind of one of those things like, Travis, please go ahead, go do it. We'll pay you extra. Don't you worry about anything except Mama Swift. You just take care of that, and we'll be good. We'll pay you extra to not attend practice or film session. Please, yeah, go ahead. I'm all for that.
And Kansas City has what should be a shootout matchup this week with Minnesota.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. Anything else with Bills Dolphins we need to cover?
No.
Tua still looked really good, and for some fucking reason, the Dolphins
threw 2 picks, but still looked pretty good.
Tyreek didn't get used that much like he was earlier.
Backup running back has 4 fucking touchdowns between 2 games.
Broncos Bears, we covered that. Ravens Browns, Dev.
That was a good game. No one got injured.
Nobody got hurt.
Here. You beat arguably the best defense in the NFL without their starting quarterback. Your team is basically looking like a mash unit at this point. So, tell us about the Baltimore Ravens. They are 3-1. They've literally beaten nobody. They're riddled with injury.
Well, you can't say they beat nobody. They beat the Bengals with an absolutely decrepit-looking Joe Burrow.
Yeah, exactly. They beat nobody. They've yet to beat a team that legit has a pulse. And then when they did play that team, they lost to them in overtime.
Well, next we're playing Pittsburgh. They don't even have Kenny Pickett anymore. So that's another win.
Yeah, you're playing Mitch Kissing Titties. So
what did I miss? Pickett's hurt?
Pickett's out for a couple weeks.
What did I miss on Monday?
I put it in the chat Sunday night during y'all's during the crew day daydream wrestle dream thing. Pickett had an MRI. They thought it was a torn MCL. Looks like it's just a bad sprain, but Pickett's going to be out a couple of weeks. They have their bye week 6, I believe.
Tight end is
at least 3 weeks.
Tight end is out too.
Freiermuth, yeah.
So what you mean to tell me is Mitch Trubisky to Nate Washington.
My defense going to
the rest of the season.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Ravens defense is going to eat this Sunday, I'm afraid, and I actually have to start Najee Harris thanks to bye weeks creeping in upon us. Bye weeks start this week.
Already?
Yeah, I'm going to check that. I'm checking that out after the stream.
Tampa Bay, the Chargers are on bye. Who all is on bye? Let me pull up the schedule here.
Out of there.
So I don't
Chargers
get any Tampa or Chargers.
This is a perfect for the Chargers. This is a perfect week for them to hit their bye.
Cleveland, Chargers, Seahawks, and Buccaneers are on bye this week.
Wait, no. Hold on.
Big Boy Pants is on bye.
My defense.
I'll be right back.
All right. Your defense, Dev.
Yeah, my defense. You said Cleveland,
Chargers, Tampa Bay, and Seattle are on bye this week.
Okay, I can work with that to Seattle. I think I only have JSN, but it's that defense that I'm going to be dealing with, the fucking Bengals defense. They better do... Who the fuck are the Bengals playing next Sunday, if you don't mind checking for me?
The Bengals coming up this week, they play...
Arizona.
They get Arizona.
I hope they do well, but Arizona's been doing well, so we'll see how that...
We'll get to Arizona, too. Arizona's been an interesting cat this
That
year.
One is really confused, because at this point where I'm looking, I know we'll get into them later, I'd rather keep Dobbs than worry about starting Kyler and shitting the bed starting him.
Well, speaking of the Bengals, they're next up on our list. They got trounced 27-3
Yeah,
by the fucking Titans.
that's what I'm worried about.
Picked up the Colts defense for my fantasy team this week because they're hosting the Titans, who seem to can't get their thumb out of their ass. I was going to start the Patriots versus the Saints, but the Saints actually have a quarterback, whereas I don't know what Tennessee has other than Derrick Henry threw a fucking touchdown last week. That's how bad off they are.
I got Derrick Henry too. See, I told you, Cap. Last week was just a one-off. Derrick Henry was going to keep progressing for me, and he's going to continue to be King Henry until he doesn't.
Dev, have you ever seen a set of tires that are so bald that the wires are starting to show?
I've seen them on the internet, but not in person.
That is Derrick Henry.
No.
Derrick Henry.
Davey, get me on this. Remember Davey and Jaws, Roy Scheider, the wire is showing. The wire is showing. That is the tread on Henry's tires. The wire is showing.
Derrick Henry had 22 rush attempts and 122 yards and a TD. Derrick Henry right now is fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
The team around him is not. He's fine. Tannehill,
I just need some better offensive line for him. They need to work on their O-line to protect whoever the fuck they're going to have at the helm and fucking Derrick Henry so they can do some shit. Their O-line is what's making them slack. They don't got nothing there.
What do you make of Jamar Chase's comments post-game? I'm always fucking open.
Yeah, that one, cocky. Young gun shouldn't be talking that much smack already if he hasn't really got much to prove except one season.
Oh, he's got 2 seasons of legit awesomeness under his belt. Jamar Chase is a world-class talented wide receiver.
He got drafted. Oh yeah, no, you're right, Cap.
This is his 3rd season. Davey, are you seeing early Antonio Brown symptoms, or is this just a guy shooting his mouth off when he shouldn't?
I'm seeing early Antonio Brown.
Shooting his mouth off when he shouldn't. Happens all the time.
Especially with wide receivers.
I wouldn't put too much stock in that, and he's probably a little frustrated with the way the season started. Not exactly what they were expecting.
Do we see him going more the T.O. row of Loudmouth or Antonio Brown running out of the stadium, just telling everyone to go fuck themselves type of shit?
Maybe decades before you see another Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
I hope so.
No, I don't think you'll see him go down that avenue either.
The next game on our list, this was a pretty entertaining one to me. Rams and Colts. Colts went to their 2nd overtime game in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Rams, I'm liking what I'm seeing. They're not like 49ers, Eagles, which those two are kind of the I Ching right now of the NFL. As far as you know, they're both undefeated. They both looked really good for the most part. The Rams, though, they look sneakily. They're not dominating good. They're sneakily good. They're slithery.
Rams are
Cooper
doing
comes back.
Once
Puka and 1-2 combo. That's going to be really good. Cornerbacks need to worry about both their 1 and their 2.
So we're going into week 5. Cup should be back week 6, correct?
Yeah.
He's scheduled back after next week. So for them to come out 3-2 and get him back, that's all they could have. Well, not all they could have hoped for, but a lot better.
Best case scenario.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I mean, best case scenario would be undefeated, but yeah, given
realistically, best case scenario.
Yeah.
And in the process, they found 2 other wide receivers with a talent level they probably didn't know they had.
Tutu and Puka.
Yeah.
Also,
Which,
fun fact,
and
Puka's
as
the
we know,
nephew of Dana White.
to
because of
Davey's point, with those two guys coming up, hamstring injuries linger. Cooper Kupp also has some miles on him, so just because he's coming back doesn't necessarily. Hamstrings are tricky things.
you can now ease him back into things. You don't have to force the ball to him all the time now. Because
Bingo.
you now have Nakua and you now have Tutu. Van Jefferson's doing sweet fuck all. But once Cup is back, you don't really need him
Yeah.
in that kind of role, right?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 3-1. Facts or frauds? I'm leaning towards frauds.
Oh, they're
This
frauds.
this is the most fraudulent 3-1 team I've seen in a long time. I'm
I
not
can't
buying
believe
it.
we're almost looking at fucking Baker going 4-0 with what he has. His team almost went 4-0.
Yeah, and Baker ain't got a whole lot. He's got a little, but he ain't got a whole lot.
Is this Baker's best year stats wise already?
What are Baker's numbers looking like? Let me click on him. Baker Mayfield has 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, has a QBR of 68.9. Not great, not terrible. Baker again. This is Baker Mayfield. He's not. I'm not. I can't stand Baker, but I'm not trying to shit on him here. Baker is a good NFL quarterback. He can do what needs to be done, but
his
his
QB rating is 101.5.
Well, I was looking at his QBR on. I forget the site. His QBR is 68.9, which is it's up there at the moment. Baker, again, he's an above average game manager, if that makes any sense at all. He can do a little bit more than the average guy, but that's about it.
That
would be an accurate description of what Baker is.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
nothing more, nothing less.
He's a little bit better than average.
Yeah.
The Eagles survived.
In the league, he'll be in the 15 to 16 range if he's playing all time.
Eagles survived a heart attack against the commies.
That was ridiculous.
I think the Eagles played down to their competition here. I think the Commanders, given a break or two, would have won this game, but the Eagles are still a damn good team.
Yeah, Washington could have very easily won that, and I think at 2-2, I'm buying Washington.
Me too. They have shown.
They've shown enough to me.
They've gone on the road and played well. They've won at home.
Yeah,
they are. They're not a pushover. They are going to give you a fight.
So if they hold that course, they could be in the hunt for that final playoff spot.
Do you see? Yeah, I was just about to say. Do we see Washington making it to a wild card?
Well, we know the Giants aren't doing it, so let's
They're
just
not even
X them out of there. Eagles are going to win this division, provided disaster doesn't strike.
What do you think their record's going to be for Eagles leading the division?
Let's see, 17 games. I think the Eagles are going to be like a 13-3, 12-4.
Okay.
Team. Maybe if they catch all the breaks, 14-2. Okay. But I'm seeing more in like the 12-4, 13-3 range.
12-4 would be what I would kind of land on with them.
They're going to have some. They're going to have some weeks where we're wondering what the fuck is wrong with Philly.
They're a really, really good team that is not a dominant team.
Right.
They're like the level below that. So they should easily win that division, yes.
Commies, oh gosh. 17 games. I would say commies are gonna have to win at least in the NFC. They're gonna have to win at least 9 or 10 games. And I think that's going to be not
They'll be-
impossible, but it's going to be tough.
They'll be one of those teams going into the last week that they have to win and need help to get in. That's where I see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were just playing the Eagles. It's going to be more of a tush push rather than them necessarily getting it so much on their own. Vikings finally won. They're 1-3. Panthers are 0-4. Even though Kirk Cousins looked like hammered dog shit.
Yeah, it's funny that the one game he doesn't look good, he
The
won.
fucking Vikings at this point. This team just befuddles me. I don't get it.
They're hard to get a read on, but they're a lot better than their 1-3 record.
I think they're more like the Broncos. They're a 2-2 team. Their offense is phenomenal. Their defense is one. It'll be good for a quarter or two. Then it'll be dog shit for like.
I think
This is a 500 team.
I think
I look
why
at Minnesota
they're better.
like a game of blackjack. You don't know what you're in.
Go ahead, Dev, and then we'll get Davey's thoughts here.
Yeah, I was like, I look at Minnesota as like a game of blackjack. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna bust early, if you're gonna have a good hand for a little bit, and then next card fucks you, or you get to 21.
But they're also the same type of team that would hit on 20 and stay on 13.
Yes, exactly.
Davey, go ahead. Your thoughts on the Vikings?
I think with the talent they have, they're better than their 1-3 record. That's obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Just with their receiving core and the running backs. But I notice what they're doing now is the first couple of games, it was pass. Teams were just sitting on it.
0-2.
It didn't work, right? Now, if you look at that game Sunday, Madison, your boy, he had 95 yards on the ground. Akers had 40, right? So they're mixing it up more now. If they keep that formula going, and if they keep Cousins somewhat under wraps as far as turning the ball over, but if they keep that damage level fairly low, this is definitely a team to watch.
Isn't it amazing what happens when you take a team that's on paper shouldn't be as good as they are, but you actually, start, applying a run game and playing a little bit of situational defensive football. Holy shit, they win a game. Yeah. Oh my God.
and that's what I seen with them the last couple of games. It's like, okay, they're putting pieces in place that they didn't the first two, right? If they keep doing that going forward, they should be fine. Carolina, on the other hand, will not be fine. They will probably be the remaining winless team after this weekend.
Two quick notes on that. November 9th, we mentioned on the stream Sunday, the Bears and Panthers play each other. Yep. Potentially two winless teams. But as we sit right now, the Bears would have the number 1 and number 2 overall picks in the draft with that pick they got from Carolina.
Yeah.
So right now, the Bears would have the number 1 and number 2 overall picks in the draft. That gets us to our next game. Dev's boys, CJ Stroud, Texans and Steelers. I've been watching football since 1998. This Steelers team, I
don't know how they have 2 wins.
I don't know either. They are god-fuck awful. That is
they have a good quarterback finally.
Pure coaching and talent. When that Cleveland game was pure talent. The other game was coaching. I love Mike Tomlin. I won't hear any shit. He is the ungodful, horrible messes he has dealt with and still won. I love Mike Tomlin. This team is so poorly coached beneath him. And the talent on offense at quarterback and offense, this team is fuck awful, and they don't seem to want to admit it. It's Pittsburgh. They're on too high of a pedestal. They're gods of the NFL, the Packers, the Steelers, the Cowboys, the 49ers. They're the Lord gods, the Patriots. The Steelers don't seem to want to admit how fucked they are.
Yeah.
This will be the first season that Tomlin is going to end up with a losing record.
Yeah, and it's sad. I
I
like
know.
that captain. They might be
It's a
already.
way
They
to
love
into this
Tomlin.
squad. He might because he's done it before, but I don't know how he does.
No, I don't see any way around it this year. Right.
I mean, their schedule does get let's look at the Steelers because if I remember correctly, the Steelers' schedule does get a bit easier
They play
as
us
things
next,
go.
and then after that, I don't know.
I'm pulling up the Steelers' schedule right now. Give me just a couple minutes here.
Baltimore this week.
Okay, so yeah, Baltimore this week. Then they have a bye. Then they're at the Rams. Then they get then they host Jacksonville, host Tennessee, host Green Bay. You could conceivably win two of those three.
Yeah, I see them losing to Green Bay and winning the other two.
At Cleveland, at Cincinnati, we still don't know the Joe Burrow situation. Host Arizona, host New England, at Indianapolis, host Cincinnati, at Seattle, at Baltimore. So the schedule does ease up a bit, but it's still not like a gimme. It's like, yeah, the schedule gets a little bit easier, but it's not like, oh well, we got, we can get this to a 9-8.
Yeah.
I don't see 9 wins.
$3, Dave. Fuck you. It's rare that I got in a draft like that, but you got me.
I did.
Hey, when Cat gets got, he's willing to admit it. I got. You got me.
I'm glad you got the Steelers defense from me too.
And
Texans trounced the Steelers. Go ahead, Dave.
Are we circling back to your boys, or did you have enough of that recap?
The Raiders?
Yeah.
Oh, we already covered them. See, this is the thing. I don't stand on a soapbox talking about how my team is going to the Super Bowl like our other co-host. I don't stand on a soapbox and talk about how great my quarterback is because we ain't fucking got one. I just kind of sit back and realize every bit of punishment and torment that I receive as a Raider fan is actually a blessing because it should be a lot worse for how bad we are. So I will take. We're 1-3. Fuck, I thought we'd be 0-4. Fuck it.
Yeah, I have you guys going 7-10.
I had us going 3, and I had us winning 3 games this year.
Yeah, I have Matt going 5-12.
Well, speak of the devil, whom I just spoke of.
And speaking of 3,
Rain?
the Blue Jays lose 3-1 to the Twins.
Little Miss Rain is currently hiding under the bed,
learning new environments.
She came out of the cat carrier and immediately was like, "Nah, fuck this. I want to hide."
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah,
but
just leave her be.
Sounds like my wife on our wedding night.
But she's already reacted.
Miss Laura will bring her around. Trust me,
without a doubt. I know that Faye is going.
I've seen how Miss Laura and Maggie reacted. Those two are going to get along swimmingly.
But no, the thing is within like the first even 15 minutes, she was kind of reactive to the sound of a toy. So I think this might be a really quick transition for the cat.
All right, very good.
Yeah, it was quick for Reeves. He got her brother.
What did I miss?
We went through. Where did you step off? Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Titans, Rams, Colts, Buccaneers, Saints, Commies, Eagles, Vikings.
It was right before the Bengals, Titans.
Yeah.
By the way, Ryan Tannehill still has absolutely no protection. That offensive line is worse than my defense as a whole.
That's exactly what I was talking about. They need to bolster their offensive line desperately.
Buccaneers 3-1. Facts or frauds?
I told you the moment they traded for him. This is Baker's Buccaneers. They're gonna do something this year.
So you're going. I'm going fraud. You're going fact. I think everyone else. Fraud. Davey went fraud, I think, too. So
I'm by myself on this, and like I said, y'all can argue as much as you want. Doesn't matter. Saber versus Danielson, still the greatest match of all time.
Well, let's get to a matchup that was not the greatest of all time. Davey, I'll let you shoehorn in on this.
Oh, you
Patriots
poor thing.
Cowboys.
It was the
What the
greatest game.
fuck was this? We both
This
said the
was
Patriots were going to lose, but this was a fucking
Not anywhere we
slaughterhouse.
thought.
this was an embarrassing mess on in every possible aspect of what a football game is supposed to be on the New England Patriots' part. Jones got benched, who's not that good to begin with. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't catch the ball. It was just.
Was
was
Bill
probably-
Belichick giving them the Bull Durham halftime speech? This
Yeah.
is a simple game. You
Yeah,
throw
like-
the ball, you
this was
hit the
probably
ball, you
the
catch
worst-
the ball.
Like this was probably the worst played game of the week, and this week included Seattle and the Giants.
And this is actually, if I'm on the worst loss in Belichick's history as a Patriot coach.
Oh, it was
Was it? I
horrible.
thought that came to the Raiders.
No, the score.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you guys had the. Oh no, that's right. The Patriots have that score on you guys. Never mind. My bad.
Yeah, no, they're trotting Jones out again next week. Belichick didn't actually say that, but they're not
Well, I
trotting-
mean, they don't really have.
They got
I mean,
Bailey Zappi, zip of the ball, Zappy.
and we got New
Zippy
Orleans.
Zappy isn't the answer. Neither is Macadoodle Jones.
No,
Oh, Macadoodle Jones will never be the answer.
no. But now we got New Orleans this week in New England. So oddly enough, that is a winnable game.
Yes, very much so.
And if
So New England
but
could be 2-3.
Hey,
but
Cap.
they will be the biggest 2-3 fraud in the league.
But
Don't
before I
believe it.
continue anything,
Go ahead.
our RAWBall in the red zone has actually been a fucking success. We've more than tripled our fucking audience just by viewerships with RAWBall in the red zone.
Ooh,
Well, hot diggity, good goddamn.
you
See,
you
I knew this handsome face, this wonderful glowing hair,
Matty-
these strong masculine hands. I knew eventually I was going to be a success in this business. And I mean, Matty's looks okay sometimes, and Matty is handsome enough.
if this is we're gonna have to change this from Matty Ass to Matty Mill.
All I got is my hair.
Just you wait. Just you wait. That caramel and chocolate OnlyFans is coming out. Me and Suge about to do some work.
One mil Matty.
Laura just woke up from a dead sleep. Devin is dying over there.
Oh shit! I hate that you guys are caramel and chocolate, and it works so well. Fuck!
Not since Frank Sinatra and Stevie Wonder did Ebony and Ivory has there been a duo this dangerous.
For fucking real.
Next up is Arizona and San Francisco.
Which I thought that I'm not surprised San Francisco scored 35. I'm surprised they allowed Arizona to score 16.
Yeah.
I was
So
watching most of
49ers
this
Super
game.
Bowl.
This game was played closer than the score indicates.
Yes, Arizona had opportunities which they should not have had.
Yeah, like Dobbs kept moving that ball down the field. They just couldn't turn it into points, right? But they were moving the ball. They were putting numbers up against a very, very good Niners defense.
Yeah.
And see, this was my worry with the Niners coming into the years. Like, yes, I love their defensive personnel top to bottom. I love the offensive personnel top to. I love everything about this team, except for when they play a quarterback like a Dobbs or a Mahomes or a Herbert, or not a Herbert, a Hurts, a quarterback that can make some plays with his legs, that has some talent around him.
Yeah, and Dobbs
Provided
does
Brock
have
Purdy stays
talent.
upright.
Like Connor is he's not spectacular by any means, but he's a solid running back. Right?
Yep.
Marquise Brown, he is solid. Wilson, is doing stuff there. Zach Ertz,
Yeah.
So
And
he's
see, I
got some
think
weapons
Arizona
around him.
is a better than their record says. They're 1-3. I think Arizona's more of a 2-2 because they let the Giants slip back on them. They beat the Cowboys, so I think Arizona's more of a 2-2 than a 1-3.
Yeah, that's what I would project them as right now, as opposed to the 1-3, because they should not have
Yeah.
lost that Giants game, but maybe they shouldn't have won the Dallas game either.
So if Arizona beat Dallas, Dallas beat the Giants, but the Giants beat
Arizona.
Cardinals, that means the Giants are better than the Cowboys. I like those stats.
No, because the Cowboys decimated them on week 1 on Sunday night. The Sunday
numbers
game,
don't lie, Cab.
Chiefs and Jets. What the fuck was this game? Chiefs and Jets.
Shit.
I honestly, I can't really speak on this one because I was over wrestle dreaming with Matty and Remy and Shug.
Essentially, the Jets should have won this game, but we had Mahomes ref ball where they called a ridiculous penalty on Sauce Gardner.
That was a ridiculous penalty. Dude, even
win.
Sauce Gardner broke it down because he was like, all right, since y'all want to commentate on this without even playing him down a football, he broke down exactly what happened and even pointed out, he's like, right there, my finger got stuck because he threw his whole body weight into me and my finger went up inside of his pads. Like,
yeah,
it was just a good defensive play. That was not pass interference.
This was the NFL giving Patty Mahomes a win that he should not have gotten.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Because they can't allow Travis Kelce to lose in primetime when Taylor Swift is in the building.
Bro, again, like we saw, I don't remember who got hit.
Imagine what it's going to be like AFC Championship game when it's the Chiefs at home with Taylor Swift in attendance, and they're playing the Broncos, they're playing the Chargers, they're playing the Bengals, they're playing whoever.
Does Travis Kelce convince Taylor Swift to do the halftime performance for the AFC Championship game?
100%.
Oh, yeah. I would say that contract has pretty much already been signed, sealed, and delivered. Chiefs are 3-1, and they should be 1-3. The Chiefs are frauds at this point to me because they have not shown me a goddamn thing that tells me
like you said
they
earlier,
are defending Super Bowl champs.
I see a 2-2 team. I do agree. They should have lost at least 2 games. But there's something about Mahomes, dude. There's something about him other than ref ball because that guy is able to do things that nobody was able to do even 20
But even if you throw out the ref ball, he can only do so much. It's the ref ball that it's like the
it's the ref ball that keeps him in it.
Okay, think about Matty, think about this. Okay, an iceberg. You look at an iceberg in the ocean. We only see an eighth of it. The 7/8 is below the water. Mahomes is that 7/8 that's below the water. That 1/8 is the ref ball that sinks a fucking ship.
Yeah, okay. I can actually agree with that entire statement because Mahomes literally is everything you want in an NFL quarterback.
But he gets just enough help from the refs to be that full iceberg that sinks a Titanic.
Okay. You know what? You lost me at the beginning. You brought me back in the middle. We're back together at the final.
Well, let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. Through his first 4 games, every one of his numbers is the lowest he's had for his career.
He's looked awful.
His passer rating, his quarterback rating is 92. For his career, it's 105. His yards per attempt is down from last year. It's 251.5 this year. Last year it was 308. His average is 300, so he's down 50 yards a game. And his yards per attempt is down by almost a full yard. 7, his career average is 8.1. Something's not clicking the way it was clicking.
He didn't have Kelce for the first game. And I think that ankle is still giving him a little bit of mishigosh. Which are, as we said earlier, are a stout defense. The Jaguars are better than they make themselves look, unfortunately. Who else have they played? I'm trying to. Who else?
Jaguars.
Kansas City's played the Jaguars, Jets. Week 1, they played.
They played the Bears, but not week
Played
1.
the Bears. No, the Bears was last week.
I was just adding it to your count.
Okay. Who did they play week 1?
They
Jaguars.
did they
Who are we talking about?
Chiefs
Jaguars
week
was
1.
first out of the gate.
Yes,
They played who?
Jags.
Jacksonville.
No, week
The
1 they played.
No, week 1, I'm pretty sure they were Thursday. They played Detroit.
They played. They
You're right.
lost to Detroit.
Yeah.
They lost to
Yeah,
Detroit.
I was about to say, NFL.
It was the first. It was the first game of the season.
So they lost to Detroit. They should have lost to Jacksonville. They should have lost to the Jets. They should be 1-3.
You know what?
This team is not good right now.
And to your point, Cap, it's been proven they need a solid, justifiable number 1 running back that can take.
Which Andy Reid will never allow,
but
because that interferes with his system.
They need that in order to keep this dynasty going. Because if they just keep relying on Mahomes to throw it to random grocery store workers, then it's not going to work in the long run. Like, it worked for Brady, but what did Brady always have behind him? An absolute fucking monster of a running back.
Well, he had a good running game. He had the greatest defensive mind, the greatest defensive coach, the greatest coach in the history of the league.
Look at that offensive line that he kept almost.
He always had a great offensive line. Brady didn't have a lot of help, but he had help in the right areas.
Bro, at one point in time, we had the greatest quarterback of all time paired with the greatest wide receiver of all time.
That was one season, though.
Along with one of the most devastating defenses of all time. And what did it do? It won them a goddamn Super Bowl.
I have defense to really talk about.
So the last game last week, Seahawks Giants, Daniel Jones got sacked 11 times.
Jeez.
11 fucking times.
You put that in the group chat, and I couldn't believe it. And then I saw clips from Tom Grossi's, primetime game.
This is the worst offensive line I have seen in my life, and I am 36 years old.
In one game.
Well, not only
that a team has given the record for sacks in a game?
I think it's 13 in one game.
Yeah, like I watched this game last night.
12 and a half.
Let me see. That's by a singular player. 14. 14.
They were 3 sacks away from tying the record.
Against the Giants. The Eagles sacked the Giants 14 times in 1952.
And
so history's repeating.
But another thing was, this was also a massive ref ball game. Not only were there 11 sacks, Tom Grossi was also having a fucking penalty counter coinciding with it. At one point, there was 15 penalties to 10 sacks.
The 1986 Philadelphia Eagles are the worst offensive line in history. They gave up 104 sacks. The closest to that was the first year of the Houston Texans, who gave up 72.
What's the most recent in current times?
Devin, but before you ask that question, Cap, what is the fucking gap between spot number 1 and spot number 2? That's like 40-something sacks between them.
Yeah.
That is categorically the worst offensive line ever. And Devin, what were you asking?
What's the worst offensive line of like modern day that's been not close?
Titans.
Well, yeah, I mean the modern day is the Texans when they gave up 70. It was 70 or 72 the first year when they had David Carr.
Was that the same year he had that Superman dive?
That was his rookie year. They gave up 70 plus sacks to him. So yeah, but the worst offensive line in history, 1986 Eagles give up 104.
104.
This Giants offensive line, how many sacks have the Giants allowed this season? Let me see here. Shit. Come on. Help me out here.
Oh shit.
Oh, fuck a duck. 2023 Giants sacks given up. For the love of God. Okay, you guys keep going. I'm still efforting this
Yeah,
thing.
no
Fair
worries.
enough.
But this was a terrible.
The Giants have allowed 23 sacks this season. Okay,
And
so that's
then
4 games. So let 23 divided by 4, multiply that by 17. They are on pace to give up 98.
damn.
Daniel Jones is going to be Play-Doh by the time this year is over.
But in the same aspect, if we're looking at that, then the Broncos are looking to give up like over 1,000 points this season just because we gave up 70 to the Dolphins.
Sacks, not points.
I can understand that, but I think points allowed
You guys might set the record for points given up, but sacks. I mean, Russell is far more mobile than Daniel Jones. Let's give Russ that.
Is he though? Because
Yes.
Russ is looking a little fucking slow too.
That he is.
Danny Jones could still bust off a 60-yard touchdown run should he need, because that is Vanilla Vic without a left arm.
Vanilla Vic.
Without a left arm, yes.
Vanilla Vic. We have got to remember that
Vanilla
one.
Vic.
I like that. Only Matthew would come up with that one.
I swear
That
I've
needs
heard
to
it
be
before.
on a.
I swear I've
That
heard
needs to be on
Vanilla
a
Vic
T-shirt
somewhere
of-
before. So don't give me credit for that one, but I'm fairly certain I've heard Vanilla Vic before. Don't give me credit on that one.
So let's look ahead to week 5. Thursday night we have Da Bears at the Commies.
I hope the Bears get their fucking win. Come on, Justin. Do what you did to us, just much better.
I want the Commies to win that one.
Can we
I'm going Commies on that one as well. I think Bears dropped to 0-5.
Sam Howell in 2 weeks was able to look like one of the better quarterbacks in the league to looking like absolute horse shit. I think the Bears got this one, boys.
So
I am going to go
maybe-
with Washington on this one.
So we got a round of Commies.
Why am I the only one?
They're gonna launch a. You're going Bears on this one?
I'm going
Yeah.
Chicago.
Holy shit! So that's 3-1 in favor of the Commies.
At the end of this week, there will be no more winless teams.
So we've got the London game. Jags hosting the Bills in London.
Jacksonville owns London, so Jacksonville.
I'm taking Bills here.
Of course, I'm going Bills. Yeah, I think the Bills are just too well put together.
The Bills are like
Hey, you're the degenerate gambler.
Did y'all seriously, while I was gone, just go, hey, whenever we're doing predictions for this week, let's just all say what Matty isn't.
Okay, we'll let you. We'll go first, and you can take the last one on this one. Houston at Atlanta.
Houston. Matt!
You even gave me the last spot.
Say it, Matty.
You motherfucker!
You would lay bets on which crow is going to fly off the fence next and shit on a windshield.
Bijan Robinson will get 2 touchdowns this week.
Oh, Christ.
You gonna put money on that, Matt?
I will actually, yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll even let Matty take the next one. He can be last too.
Okay.
All right. Carolina at Detroit.
Detroit.
If it would be possible for Detroit to win this twice, that's how bad that they will beat Carolina in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit all day here.
This will be a
no
massacre.
more winless teams this week.
There will be peace in the valley.
I want to say there will be no more
for me.
winless teams this week.
Oh, Lord, I pray.
But I'm going to
You're
go
not.
with Detroit. I'm going with
Yeah, you
Detroit.
have
I cannot take.
All right,
Carolina over
finally,
Detroit.
sanity prevails.
There we go.
I can't take Carolina over Detroit. As much as I want them to get a win, Detroit's going to beat the dog piss out of them.
Titans at the Colts.
Titans.
Who's quarterback?
Tannehill.
I'm not talking for the Titans.
Richardson.
Richardson should be back this week. He's out of concussion protocol.
I'm gonna go Indy. I would think I would have went Indy with Gardner Minshew.
I'm going the Indianapolis. This is
I'm going fighting Ursays too. All right. The New York Football Giants at the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
the only way the Giants win this is if Miami completely misses the plane and doesn't show up.
Yeah. Or Tyreek and Tua and all their entire starters aren't there. And they only got backups.
The only chance the Giants have is if Miami would have to forfeit.
Dev, you have given Tyreek Hill so many blowjobs this season. You have permanent cum stains on your shirt.
He's giving me such good points.
I'm gonna go Miami for this game because if the Giants somehow, and I'm saying this with every grain of rice in the entire continent of Asia, that's a lot of rice. By somehow Danny Jones beats the Dolphins.
Really?
I might just run down the street naked. There's no explanation to that. The world might be ending, guys.
Mark it down. Matty is running naked down the street if Danny Dimes beats the Dolphins.
He's going to be there with me. I don't want to see him get naked and run out of my house.
Well, you're going to see it.
You've seen that scene from MacGruber where he puts a stick of celery up his ass, right?
Yes.
All right. Davey, this one's yours. New Orleans at New England. What the fuck? I don't know where to go with this one.
These are
two teams desperate for a win.
If there was ever a game that could be destined for a 9-9 tie, it's this.
Did they score 3? Both respective teams scored only 3 points Sunday?
It was not a good week for scoring with these teams. But for this particular game, I'm going to go with the Patriots, just for the simple fact that they are in New England.
I'm going to go with the Saints. I think famous Jameis might actually pull this one out in Gillette.
No, Carr's the quarterback.
No, Carr's the quarterback.
I thought Carr's shoulder was fucked.
Oh.
I'm taking New England here simply because home cooking. Bill will cook something up to. It won't be pretty, but Bill will cook something up.
Oh, also, I didn't talk about the fact that this Sunday was definitely not Ezekiel Elliott's revenge game.
No.
Not by any
I think I'm going New England on that one.
Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
Baltimore. They have no quarterback.
They have Mitch Kiss and titties.
Our defense are going to eat.
I genuinely think
less people get injured.
Is going to beat the dog piss out of poor Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I've got to go Ravens here.
Damn right you do.
I just do not
put you in a corner.
I just do not see a scenario here where I look at when I'm looking at a game, I look at coaching and I look at quarterbacks. Tomlin is good. Baltimore coach. What's his name?
Oh, John Harbaugh.
Tomlin is good. Harbaugh is better. Trubisky is dog shit. Lamar Jackson is far better. I got to take Ravens here.
Also, I genuinely think Mark Andrews may very well get 3 fucking touchdowns this game.
Okay, that was the noon slate. Now into the afternoon. Philadelphia at the Rams.
Matt, you start this one.
Philly at the Rams. It'd be dumb not to go Philly.
Okay.
It would be dumb not to go Philly, but I can actually see the Rams squeaking this one out.
And we did talk. It's not this week, but it's the week after they get Cooper.
Okay.
Right.
So, again, even then, 6 weeks without Cooper, Guys, Puka's going to be their number one. Matt Stafford has already built that connection within the season. If you fuck that up, then Sean McVay is definitely not the offensive genius that everybody thought he was a couple years ago.
Davey?
I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. I'm really liking what I'm seeing.
I'm taking the Rams as well.
Yeah, I was going to say this is going to be Philly losing their first game.
Rams are taking this one.
If me
Wait,
and Cap
Philly's undefeated?
Yeah, dude. Philly and 49ers are the only undefeated teams.
Me and Cap keep agreeing like this, we're going to be sitting down watching Omega matches this time next year.
Hey, I will happily watch Omega matches with you so long as John Moxley isn't involved.
On stream, we need to get this set up. I need to get Davies' top 3 Omega matches, and I need Cap to sit there and watch all 3 of them with Davey.
I've probably seen 2 of them because I love the Okada matches.
Cool. So find matches that don't involve Okada or Ospreay, Davey.
So next on the list, Bengals at Cardinals.
I see Cardinals taking it.
Josh Dobbs is leading the Cardinals to a fucking W here. Josh Dobbs is quickly becoming one of my favorite players for no reason.
Arizona at home, and with whatever mess Cincinnati got going on, I think that's Arizona's to steal.
I'm going to step outside of the group here. I'm going to say Bengals because I think this is going to be one of those Joe Burrow wills them to victory here. It's not going to be pretty, but I think the Bengals.
Does he have it in his body to will them to a victory, though?
Yeah, he hasn't been able to will it to the first down.
I think the Bengals take this one, but I will throw in this caveat. I will not be surprised if the Bengals lose this one and they go into full-on fuck all panic mode, because if they are 1-4 after having just lost to Arizona, that team has massive shit to figure out. But speaking of massive shit to figure out, the climax of the afternoon, New York at Denver. The Jets at the Broncos.
We don't have to play Rodgers. Zach Wilson's going to throw for 300 fucking yards.
This is going to be a lot closer than it should be, but I'm picking Denver just because they're at home. But
I'm taking Denver too. Jets, I have Russell Wilson starting for my fantasy team this week, so I'm very nervous, but I'm taking the Broncos here because I think they're just between Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, I think they're a far better coached and quarterback team in spite of all the hoo-ha that we've seen from the Broncos this year. Dev?
The battle of the Wilsons.
Oh, I already said I'm going Jets.
Matthew?
I'm the odd one out. Unless Matt goes Jets.
For everything that is good for the sanctity of the RAWBall podcast, the Broncos better fucking win this game.
But we get better ratings when you have aneurysms.
If not, next Tuesday is going to start with a cold open with the biggest rant that I can cut on each individual person on the Broncos. I might write a fucking 53-page essay with each page being a reason why I'm shitting on each individual player.
After that game's over, Matt's just leaving my house and writing it.
I might make it 56, so that way
the final game of the afternoon slate in the 3 o'clock window, Chiefs at Vikings.
This game is easily going to put up a total of like 62 points plus.
We said that about Chiefs and Jags, and look what the fuck happened.
Yes, but the Vikings defense is nowhere near what the Jaguars defense is.
I am looking forward to this game. This is going to be
a good one.
This is either going to be a fucking shootout or it is going to be a dog shit fest, because the Vikings defense has sneakily, not on paper, but sneakily been getting a little bit, as Davey mentioned, they've been sneakily getting a little bit better the last couple of weeks. The Chiefs have yet to play an actual team with firepower, like legit firepower.
And without a doubt, Justin Jefferson is the number one wide receiver in the entire NFL.
This
Fuck
this,
Tyreek
this
Hill.
could be this could be game of the week, or it could be like, what the fuck was this? I think I love this game because this is the first time the Chiefs will have faced an offense worth its salt, and I don't buy the Chiefs' defense because they haven't faced an offense worth its salt.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, is how mediocre the receivers are and the running back core is out in Kansas City. That's kind of evened out with how lackluster the Vikings defense is when it should be a very good defense.
I can't really name any star defensive players on the Vikings.
Danielle Hunter.
Is that their star defensive player?
Danielle Hunter, and I think Harrison Smith might still be there.
So what are our picks? Dev, I'll start with you.
I think I'm going to take KC on this one. But
Davey?
I'm
go ahead,
agreeing
Dev.
with you. I'm agreeing with you guys. It's going to be close, like a field goal win. But
I'm
KC.
going for what could be considered an upset, I suppose, in Minnesota at home.
I also am going Minnesota, not even out of my spite and hatred for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going Minnesota too.
Okay.
I think Chiefs get exposed. Finally.
I think this is the game that points out, and unfortunately, as much as we can talk shit about it this season, we're not ready for the dragon that's getting awoken for next season. With that restructure that Mahomes took, they're going after every weapon they fucking can on offense.
Yeah.
They don't need more weapons. They need a fucking offensive line, defense, and running game. They're just going to...
They need a running back,
A wide
and they
receiver.
need a star wide receiver, and that will be available this offseason.
So we've got 3 Vikings, 1 Chief.
Yes.
So Sunday night, Dallas at San Francisco.
San Fran.
You would be absolutely dumb to not pick San Francisco.
San Fran.
Kittle's going to eat.
Not even.
See, that's the thing with the with the 49ers.
They don't.
No one person has to eat for them to win.
Oh, exactly.
It could be McCaffrey. It could be Kittle. It could be Debo. It could be Purdy. It could be anybody.
It could be Brandon.
It could be Bosa.
Yeah. McCaffrey's been eating, though, like this shit's a buffet.
But that's the thing with San Francisco is they are solid in every aspect of what a football team should be.
They are the most complete team in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they're efficient. They're not stupid when they're playing.
They're insanely well. Shanahan.
Yeah.
He keeps impressing me.
Well, you have those two things working in like together.
Yep.
That's hard to stop. Right?
Yeah.
Davey and I are agreeing far. The more Davey and I hang out, the more we are agreeing, and it just sickens my stomach.
Like he said, just wait. Soon you guys will be talking and reminiscing over how.
Well, as I've said, Dave and I, we're not that different from each other. We're just so different in certain areas that it makes us seem like we're far apart, but we're so together in others that the glaring,
At a certain point, we're going to have a beautiful point in time where you and Davey are just sitting there reminiscing over how great Kenny Omega's run was in New Japan.
Yeah, like I know I'm way up
general.
Run in I can't deny that. I'm no fucking fool. He had a phenomenal run in New Japan. I watched 2 out of the 3 matches he had with Okada, and I enjoyed all of. I enjoyed them. And at this point, putting him up against fucking Moxley, shit, I'll take Omega's whatever he does over on Moxley's fucking shit.
I'm just waiting for the day that I can at least get you to appreciate Moxley's mind.
I agree.
Because you say he has no mind for the business, and there's 3 of 4 of us here saying that he's got an incredible mind for the business.
Oh, he does. Like
Oh,
the stuff
100%.
That's
the stuff
three
he's
out
been
of
able to
four.
put. Yeah, like the stuff
One
he's
of
been
these
able to
days.
put together
One of
since he
these
got
days.
to where he is.
One of these days, we'll be able to turn your brain around on that, Cap.
I hate to give Vince McMahon credit for anything, but getting rid of that schmuck was one of the best ideas he ever had.
Get rid of him. He
And
left.
finally, the Monday night game, the Green Bay Packers at the vicious Vegas Raiders.
Oh, you're the Monday night game? I'm so sorry.
At least he doesn't have to watch it on Sunday.
No, that means that the Raiders are getting fucking shut out.
Oh, we're getting our ass whipped.
Yeah. Green Bay in this one. Like
we should have Garoppolo back. He should be out of concussion protocol. I think it's not gonna be we're not gonna get smelted like we did against the Chargers.
But you guys are going to lose to the Green Bay Packers. I'm taking go Pack go.
Packers are taking this one unless somehow, and I'm throwing. This is the Devontae Adams revenge game. Unless somehow the Raiders just get up early and we get some kind of a pass rush on Jordan Love, there is a path to victory for the Raiders in this game.
Oh, I agree.
But it's a very narrow path. But if I were betting, I would say Packers.
Yeah, it's the same path that the Giants would have to take.
Davey, I'm going to need to know, is this shit in order for greatest matches of all time?
In order? No, those were just what I posted earlier today. It's like
good, Davey.
Those are matches.
Because you're lying. You're lying.
You're lying if you had Saber Danielson in the wrong spot.
No,
you have them at last and not first.
Yeah, no, like those are just matches that if you're a wrestling fan, you at some point in time go watch those. Right? They span.
The
they span decades.
The entire Omega Okada rivalry. Shibata Okada, that's the one where he cracked his fucking skull.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you the second. There were two matches between Okada and Omega there was the 2 out of 3 falls and there was the time limit draw. I liked those two.
Omega Ospreay from Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, that match was
phenomenal. I haven't seen that match. But I haven't seen that match.
It did not live up to the hype. I still think their match at Forbidden Door was better.
Dragunov versus Walter, obviously ain't gonna get no complaints here. Also, and I haven't seen Danielson Saber.
Omega versus Naito, depending on which one he's talking about, fucking phenomenal.
Match. Any of them.
So two of these Dragunov and Walter, I'll give you. Some of these I haven't seen, so I can't really say.
I'm proud to say I've seen every single one Davey's put in.
If you have a chance, Cap, I promise you that Danielson Saber match, just give it time. Tell your significant other to go have a nice coffee or a tea somewhere. Just isolate yourself.
We haven't made a pot of coffee in this house. John loves coffee, but he has gotten off the coffee. He started drinking tea, like hot tea, like early. John grew up in England. Oh, no, he's Venezuelan, but he grew up in England, so he's very much a tea guy. My doctor said I'm not allowed to drink coffee ever again.
But tea is good.
So he's on the hot tea game. I'm on the iced tea game. We haven't made a pot of coffee in this house in 2 months.
Brett Austin, FTR versus Briscoes, the third one. That's dog collar, right?
No. You got all the trilogy, all 3 of those.
Oh, all 3 of them.
Yeah, like one would lead into they tell the story throughout. Like that's
Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness, without a doubt. Steamboat versus Flair. You don't have all of them. Which one?
All of them. I just ran out of.
Oh, you ran out of characters.
Well, Steamboat. I mean, that trilogy in '89 to me is still the greatest series of matches. It's going to be tough for anyone ever to convince me that you can touch Flair Steamboat.
And any of Shawn Taker's matches, whether it be Hell in a Cell, whether it be the WrestleMania matches, any of those.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 25, the first Hell in a Cell, and then WrestleMania 26. That's how I would rank them.
I have 26 above 25.
What?
I agree with Matt.
I have 26 above 25.
Piper versus Valentine.
Alcohol.
Yep.
I
actually.
Just
Davey, this may
match of all time.
Yes.
and
That was Starrcade 1984. I still have that. Matty will vouch for me on this. In my vault to my right, I still have that match on VHS.
We watched it while I was there.
Piper and Valentine on VHS, the dog collar match. Yes.
Because there's a lot of people who would have seen Punk MJF in their dog collar match, and there was a lot of call-outs to that match. So if you like the Punk MJF one, go watch the original. You'll see.
We're not so different, you and I. We're not so different, Davey.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Oh, before this goes tonight too.
I love Davey. Davey loves me, and we're hated by everybody. I think that's the penultimate thing.
There's a match.
I love Davey. Davey loves Cap. Everyone hates both of us. So while we may disagree on, the Kennys and the Bucks and the Moxleys and the what have you, the little bitty, picking that shit out of Pepper. At the end of the day, Davey and I we kind of just vibe together.
Yeah. No, we do.
And if Davey still drank, I would happily buy him beers all night.
Oh, yes, before I forget, because I got a prediction on this here. As we all know, Dirty Dom lost his belt Saturday. Trick Williams is now the North American champion.
Hopefully not.
There's a rematch.
I love Trick Williams, but he's not ready.
No, there's a rematch
Davey,
this evening.
Quick little interruption. Diamondbacks and Brewers are tied 3-3, bottom of the third.
Oh yeah, I got that on here.
Okay, go ahead, Davey. You're a big Diamondback supporter all of baseball season, so I just had to throw that in.
Oh yeah, Diamondbacks would be fine. Go
ahead.
But Dom is fighting Trick Knight for the belt.
Okay.
Rhea told Dom, if you don't come home with that belt tomorrow, don't bother coming home. Wes Lee and Carmelo Hayes had a little meeting backstage Saturday. But I think what's going to happen is Carmelo Hayes is going to cross Trick that belt. It goes back to Dom. Carmelo is going to flip heel, and there's your.
Yeah, but that would also turn Wesley heel, no?
Wesley's already heel.
It was Trick and Carmelo that were backstage, not Wes. Sorry about that. Right. So I think Trick's going.
I thought Wes left. I thought that's what his thing was with NXT.
No. But I think Trick goes face, Carmelo goes heel. And based on what Carmelo did at the end of that Dragunov match, he was just going to fucking bolt. And Ilya hauled him back in the ring. Another must-see match last week, too, by the way. Go watch that one.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes.
I haven't seen it. I need to make time to see it because I love both of those guys. Carmelo and Dragunov.
Carmelo has
those may be the two guys, along with Austin Theory, whom WWE should be building their future. Or we're talking not now, but 5-7 years. Those are the three guys to build your company around.
Now, I feel that I can say this with full confidence. Ricky Starks and Carmelo Hayes can both easily become the next Rocks of our generation.
Yeah,
with their charisma, in-ring talent, and promo skills, it is incredible to say that they can fail at anything.
Yeah,
Carmelo, yes. Starks, maybe.
Carmelo is more. Carmelo is more polished in ring right now, but Starks has it everywhere else. But Starks has come along in the ring, especially with his recent work. So
I like that they have him with a heavy now, very Shawn Michaels Diesel-esque.
Yeah, I'm saying this with nothing but respect.
Very good call out, Matthew. Very good.
I'm saying this with nothing but respect. I see Ricky Starks being like the next Dolph Ziggler, always being good no matter what age, and is always there, putting in the work whenever they need him, being a champion when they need, Intercontinental when they need, toss him in the tag team, he's going to flare on his own, has a manager, no matter what you're going to put him in, he's going to be fantastic.
Okay. But, oh, yes, Devin, that's Dallas.
What up, Dallas?
Oh, Oh, here's another little prediction I got.
Dev,
Nakamura,
I actually, I really like that kid.
You,
I had never thought about that honestly, but
And
you,
Starch sells amazing.
he does,
that's that's a nail on. I had never thought about that, but that's a
But
nail on the
Ziggler
head.
was always on the back burner. Ricky Starks needs to be your front main
That's how they can
dish.
change it, though.
Yeah.
But the way they use Ziggler, no matter what it is, he's gonna fucking thrive. Tag team.
Carmelo is your star. Starks may be your 20-year long worker.
Yes.
and I think Namora is going to win the whatever the fuck it is belt from Seth.
Dave,
No,
you can
whatever the
call it what it is. The consolation prize.
The consolation prize.
Yeah.
Reason being is WWE is going to be airing content now in Japan. The face,
Yep. We
That's
had a
over
Twitter
as fuck
exchange
there.
over this.
which is Nakamura. So if they can plaster his face with a belt, people are going to tune in. So I think that's what happens.
I'm not going to be pissed or upset if Nakamura takes it
I was
because
about to say,
Shinsuke
I'm
is
big Nakamura guys.
Shinsuke is a great worker. I've got nothing against Shinsuke. If he takes the belt off Seth,
One of Muda's
I'm not going to be
most-
upset.
one of
I just hope that they
Bucky's
don't. I just hope that Seth doesn't get swept under and maybe goes after Roman and gets a big ride like that, rather than just
I
being.
had this, and I had that
I'm
conversation
not,
today
I'm
too
not going to be upset with Shinsuke having the belt. Shinsuke is a phenomenal worker. And I will never have a problem with you putting the belt on someone who can work their ass off. Even if I may not like the switch, I wouldn't do it if I were booking, but you could do a whole hell of a lot worse than Nakamura. He is a worker who can carry a belt.
Well, it's the gender thing, right? Oh, we're going to Saudi Arabia. Jinder Mahal, put a belt on. Same thing. The only difference.
I just don't want them to bring back Nutshot Nakamura.
Davey, you can kind of back me up here. You remember late 1995, Sting was the U.S. heavyweight champion in WCW. He dropped the belt in Japan to Kensuke Sasaki when they were starting to build that big relationship with New Japan to bring in a lot of those Japanese stars to WCW. I see a big correlation there with what you were saying. With if they put that belt on Nakamura and they're going to start really working with Japan, I would be completely fine with that. Because Seth doesn't need a belt. I would love him to have one. He doesn't need it. Sting didn't need one. Yeah.
They're airing stuff in Japan. They're not working with New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's not happening.
Well, airing, but aren't I mean they just put Muda in the Hall of Fame this year.
Right.
I mean, but not working with, but this could lead.
Different company. They're in talks with Noah to do something. Noah is a completely different, same country, different promotion entirely. So they are in talks with Noah.
Davey, why do you think
WWE I don't know.
is so opposed to working with anybody?
Because they're hard stuck on their thought process, and every time they have their guys probably against another, they think they are only going to.
The one area of the world where there is still an untapped market in the U.S. Because to me, it seems like Japan, apart from AEW, like WWE has barely acknowledged Japan. They can't even acknowledge AAA.
WWE has little to no.
One at a time. One at a time. Let Davey go.
WWE has little to no interest in any promotion doing anything of any significance. They want them. That's why any company that gets into bed with them better have an ironclad fucking deal written down. Nothing verbal with that.
Do they not see speaking of AAA, I mean, someone like Vikingo, I mean, this guy is arguably I wouldn't even say, in my opinion, he's the greatest Mexican worker in the world right now. Why would you not want to try and get this guy, sign him, and then bring? It's still North America. Bring that AAA audience. You got Rey Mysterio Jr. to be a great spokesman for that. You get Vikingo on a contract, and you do something with AAA. They're not bereft of talent besides Vikingo.
Yeah.
Matty showed me quite a few guys who are great in AAA.
Cap became a very big fan of Taurus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good,
Black
as
Pearl.
you
Not
should.
as good as Vikingo, but Taurus, guy can go.
Yeah, and it's kind of mind-boggling how Impact uses him. I haven't quite figured out.
Bro, they threw him into decay because of his appearance. That has to be it.
Yeah, but he puts on banger matches, but he loses a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Now, can you see Jade
Right.
and Bianca becoming a tag team?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Probably, yeah. She's supposed to. Rumor had it now. This is just a rumor. It's not confirmed or anything. But Jade Cargill, there's a good chance she's going to be at Fastlane. And
Yeah.
when
She's
she does
reported to
debut, Raw is where she's going.
I would honestly, if I'm booking this, I'm not booking them as a team. I'm booking Jade to come in and challenge Bianca as being the EST.
Now, our buddy Dallas.
That's what I would do.
Missouri, he's got a slightly different idea than you. You know, them
The
being
women's
friends-
tag team titles are death sentences.
Yes, but have them be friends that help each other, but not tag team. Both will be better alone and not in a team.
I personally,
if they're on opposite brands, like Davey just said, they can totally fucking do that.
yeah. Well, the brands, it doesn't matter. People vote back and
Exactly.
forth all the time.
Exactly.
If I'm trying to just strictly not what I would do, but if I'm strictly doing something to draw money, WrestleMania next year, Jade versus Bianca for the women's title.
Whichever brand.
One of the two. I'm sorry we have to fucking brand split, but Jesus Christ. If you put Jade versus Bianca at WrestleMania next year for a women's championship, you're going to get eyes from that match is going to draw eyeballs.
And fuck it, make it the main event. Get even more eyes on it.
I want to see Jade Cargill fuck up Charlotte.
Especially if we have 2 fucking nights of WrestleMania. You can make it a main event of
We're
one.
going to have 2 nights of WrestleMania. It could wind up being 3 nights if this shit keeps going on.
Yeah,
Wait
NXT is
till
going to
it's-
end up getting a WrestleMania night.
Well, no, hold on.
Now, Jade versus Bianca, Rhea versus Becky. That would be your 2 big women's matches for Mania.
Didn't last year they call SmackDown before Mania WrestleMania SmackDown? So we
They did,
technically had 3 nights of WrestleMania. So wait till we get 4 when we get WrestleMania SmackDown, WrestleMania
buy
night
one.
night 2, and then WrestleMania
Buy-
Raw.
Buy one, get one of a 4-night extravaganza. Excellent.
I think a lot of people are trying to talk about it this way. It's going to be Roman wrestling 2 nights of WrestleMania this year. It's because he's getting that cocky. He's going to face Cody, or he's going to face Rock on night 1. He's going to lose the belts to Cody.
He's
on
not. Roman is not losing the belt at Mania. They're
He's
passing
losing the
Hogan.
belt at
The
Mania.
one
Yeah,
passes Hogan.
Yeah.
Then he'll drop it to whomever.
They're
But he ain't
past,
dropping
Not
it
beat
at-
me, brother.
Yeah, he's
they're
not
pa-
dropping
they're
it at-
pa- he is going to pass Hogan.
Yeah, he's not dropping
Dallas-
it at Mania. Whoever he
Dallas has
fights.
a WrestleMania match.
Where's
Jade,
Becky?
Bianca, Rhea.
For
You're gonna put
Jade
Becky-
though,
make it a fatal 4-way.
for Jade, what I would do if they're trying to draw eyeballs to the product, Raw and SmackDown get enough eyeballs. Put Jade on NXT, and have her be the focal point.
I agree
Yeah?
with you wholeheartedly, Davey.
She's going to progress in the ring. She gives her time to progress
What
in the
message
ring.
does that send? What message does that send? You're bringing in
It gets
the
eyes on
top female You're bringing in the top female free agent in professional wrestling. Oh, you're going to our developmental program.
Have her kick Becky out of NXT.
Do you want to do it right, or do you want to do it quick?
You want to do it
They'll,
right.
they will opt for the latter. They will do it quick, right? But to do it right,
You don't bring in a free agent of that caliber and send him to NXT.
Okay,
Does Dragunov belong in NXT?
I can
Fuck
say,
no.
I can
He should
say,
be on the main roster.
but because he was on the British independent scene, they put him in NXT.
Yeah.
Because he was an indie guy, they put him in NXT.
Dragunov, Carmelo, these guys should not be in NXT.
Carmelo needed
Gallus,
NXT.
almost
Carmelo,
half.
no.
Why in God's name Becky Lynch is messing with NXT?
Time out real quick.
Right.
That's your developmental territory, not where you send people to fucking die.
Carmelo Hayes needed NXT because he did not have promo skills. He never really cut many promos on the indie.
No, he worked his way through, but he's been lingering there for about a year. I said he was ready a year ago.
Oh, he's been ready for a year, yeah.
And
he just
and
needed
the
that promo
and
work.
I got 3 minutes, then I got to go to dinner.
the reason for the main roster people
shit.
going to NXT, look at what Becky has just done with Stratton. Her work has gone up a few tiers.
And they did it with Drew
I work-
McIntyre as well. Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre was
So you-
already established on the main roster.
So you can have Jade there. You can still bring main people over to wrestler. You're going to get eyeballs on NXT, and your viewership is going to go up.
Yes. And that's why Dragon Lee's been popping up on SmackDown a lot more.
Right. And you might get that fan base to stop looking at NXT like it's the minor leagues, which some of them do. If they look at it as a third brand,
people still look at NXT as the minor leagues.
right?
Not just Capty. Yeah, it's the developmental.
And the
brand,
more
but for the longest
eyeballs,
Cap has dropped. So we're going to just keep this going for as long as we're going to.
Yeah.
but the more eyeballs that you get on NXT, right? When you do bring these people up, they don't debut now to crickets,
Yeah.
which happens a lot.
And
They get brought up, they don't have a fucking clue who they are.
Someone like Jade, I can guarantee you, if you build her up in NXT properly, you look forward to like a WrestleMania weekend. You've seen her at the Rumble and you haven't seen her since. That's going to build that star even that much more. And like I said, she's not in WWE for a long time. She's in it for a good time.
Yeah.
So you can build her in NXT for a year, Royal Rumble of next year, and then continue.
And what I'm about to say here is not a knock on Jade because of where she worked and where she now is. But I've watched Jade for 3 years. Jade needs work. She has been progressing. NXT will give her that time to do that. Right?
Yes.
So when you're making all these fantasy matches with Bianca, who is far more progressed in there than she is, or Becky or Rhea, it'll give her time to catch up.
Exactly.
So
do you want to know who I want her first feud to be? Zelina Vega. For one reason. Or for two reasons. One, we already know that they're going to be doing cosplay shit together, which is going to be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
But Zelina Vega's been in this business for well over a decade. The shit that she can help teach Jade Cargill and working with someone of Zelina's talent
and size.
We've not been able to see, Zelina's talent show too much.
Zelina Vega's one.
Zelina as Jade's first rivalry, I think, would be absolutely perfect.
Tegan Knox.
Yes, that would be fun.
Candice LeRae, Piper Niven.
Hold on, Davey just said it. It was Bianca's. It was Bianca's rivalry with Candice LeRae that got me into Bianca Belair.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Right, the shit that they were able to do together was crazy. So and Candice would be a fantastic rivalry for her.
And it's getting her in there with people who work different styles. So she's not just copying and pasting from one match to the next, the same stuff over and over and over again, right? When you do get those big matches, they're going to deliver more.
Exactly. Our buddy Dallas says him and his friend Damien were talking. Braun, Mello, the Creed brothers, Joe Gacy, Cora, Rox, Bate, and Gallus are all ready for call-ups.
Oh, talent-wise, they are. Cora's not. No,
Cora,
And
I
ne-
don't.
neither
think
is Roxanne. Cora and Roxanne are like they're on a treadmill. They just haven't progressed at all.
They need
Like,
to get
they're-
They need to get Roxanne better on promos because her in ring is there.
I find her in ring actually kind of slow compared to what I seen prior to her getting there.
Well, you know how the WWE
Everything slows down.
style
Yeah,
is.
everything. Dragon Lee is considerably slower than what he was.
Bro, look at what he did on Raw. It was sad compared to what he did even in NXT, let alone compared to his shit in New Japan.
But it's the thing, and the thing is though too, Dallas. It's not the fact of them being ready. There's a lot of guys down there that are right. Cameron Grimes was ready, and they brought Cameron Grimes
There
up
we
last
go.
fall, and have done nothing
Right.
with him.
No, Cameron
What I
Grimes
missed.
has been treated like shit since he's been brought up.
He's an afterthought.
What did I miss?
Afterthought.
We're just Dallas said that Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, the Creed brothers, Joe Gacy, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Bate, and Gallus are ready for a call up. There's
I
two
do
people
see-
there that Davey didn't agree with. I think Roxanne is ready. She just needs better on the microphone, and we both agreed that Cora Jade isn't ready.
I don't agree. I agree that Cora Jade's not ready. Rox
And-
isn't ready, but everyone else is.
And I do see Devlin
Natalia
joining
helping out.
Judgment Day, and I see Priest being the one that leaves. So
Yes.
they'll rotate members like that. They'll keep it at the same number.
But they're taking away the heavy.
Yeah, but you can't take Finn on the main roster and make him a face because they've tried it and it fails miserably. They turn him into the smiling Irishman. It
Yeah.
doesn't
And we
work.
saw how that worked for Becky.
You can't oust Dom because he's not ready. So the only one left to go is Priest. And Rhea is the leader of the group.
At this point, yes. And yes, they shat on Cameron Grimes, sadly. I wouldn't even
Unfortunately.
say shat on him. They
They
let everything out on him.
Yeah, and I can't figure it out because he has literally everything that they look for. He
Exactly.
can talk. He's funny. He can wrestle. He can play a face. He can play a heel.
He's
Like,
got it all.
what more do they want?
He has an explosive moveset.
Yeah, I mean
It's not
wrestling
like
there is
anything.
not. It's not high up on the list of things to do per show, but
But him on the mic, he's fantastic. When he was on NXT, that whole going from his Southern boy to being a rich one blew up.
yeah, well, and that stuff that he did with LA Knight, like
Fantastic.
that was fucking excellent. Like, they brought Ted DiBiase back in, $1 Million Man.
That shit was hilarious.
No, that shit was so fun. Dude, so I literally missed the week that Cameron Grimes hit the stocks and became really rich. This was when I was still covering NXT for the other channel. And I literally took a week off, came back, and Cameron Grimes was rich after being homeless. And I'm like, what the fuck did I miss?
It was like broke ass Corbin to Rich Corbin, only done really well.
Except
Yes.
done very fun.
Yeah, it was like the opposite end of the spectrum from what they did with Corbin.
Exactly.
It was done the right way.
About Adam going to AEW, I think this is a very interesting move. He's had 3 million views his debut on YouTube.
What did Punk have
I
when
don't
it
know.
popped off?
Like, this is going to be a whole new world for Adam as far as creativity.
Oh, yeah.
And like the guys that he gets to work with and the styles of matches that he's going to be able to have. Like, I'm really interested to see what the next couple of years are going to be like for him.
Okay, now
With him only having a few.
hold on. No, continue, Devin, and then we'll go on to the next topic. Since let's run through Wrestle Dream real quick. Davey, if you would want to pull up the card.
Yeah, but with Edge going to AEW, there's only few people there that he's already had matches with. Everything else has become dream matches and things that me and Matt have made on 2K games.
Yeah.
Edge has this, like what Davey said, he has such a brand new horizon of new people, new styles, younger generation than what he was able to wrestle with at WWE. The youngest person he wrestled, did he even wrestle Theory?
Hold on. I'm not even
He did
looking at
wrestle
the
Theory,
younger
yeah.
people that he's
So yeah,
wrestled.
that was like the youngest person that he got to wrestle. Now he's going to be able to wrestle multiple people of that age and younger.
Do you know a match that I've wanted since like 2006, 2008?
Danielson Sabre?
The other than that, I want to see just one time. Give me Christopher Daniels versus Adam Copeland.
Oh yes, please.
Because those are two guys that kind of defined that generation of wrestling. Like you think of what Impact was doing, what WWE was doing. Those are guys that were people that really were looked up to from that generation.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that match. I'm interested in matches like that we could have got in the early 2000s, but I know Edge versus Samoa Joe.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, and he mentioned Samoa on the presser that they did. He ran down
What time
a bunch
are
of
we
names,
cutting
right?
it at?
Whenever we're done with the Wrestle Dream recap, I guess.
Okay.
But one name.
I'll probably go at like 7.
I'll go
'cause I
one.
gotta cook.
All right.
I'll-
So we got 20 minutes to get
I'll-
through this.
I'll go one really high end guy that I want to see him in the ring with, and two younger guys. One is most definitely going to happen. Nick Wayne,
Of course.
Yeah.
obviously, with the story starting off with, you know that's going to happen. I'm interested to see that, especially with the face heel dynamic.
Oh
the
my
way it is.
God.
Another one is Action Andretti. I want to see him in the ring with him.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, because I did a friend of mine like
I
Andretti,
don't know if that'll
Cole,
happen, but
Page.
it's possible.
Andrade, Bandito, Danielson, Buddy Matthews, Daniel Garcia, Darby, Mox, Omega, Takeshita, Malachi, MJF, Nick Wayne, Orange, Pac, Rush, Sammy, Swerve, Ospreay.
All of them. The Edge, or
Like, that's just how-
Adam Copeland Osprey is like the biggest one running through my head.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or
So
Jay White.
All the fantasy dream matches
Here's Dallas'
that everybody was
top three.
always doing for Edge, that people thought would never happen, are now all of a sudden a possibility.
Yes.
It's like it's just a whole world opened up.
And from
Literally.
what you sent us
The
in
whole
our
world
chat,
opened up.
he's going to be there for a little bit.
I'd say 2 years anyway. He's 49
That's
now.
what I'm thinking.
So,
But the high end guy, Jay White.
Yeah, Jay White,
I want to
Osprey.
see him there with Jay.
My 3 dream matches of Cope. Let's just go around for. You have to pick 3 dream matches with Adam Copeland and AEW. I'll go Osprey, Jay White, and so many. Adam Cole. Those are my 3.
Jay
Cole.
White, Omega, and Swerve.
Cole, Jay White, and Christopher Daniels. I just need that match against him and CD. I don't even give a shit if it's a decent match. I just want that match.
And to see Adam Copeland possibly pop up on ROH just for shits and gigs to wrestle some of those guys.
Good.
How hilarious would that
And
be
now-
to see Adam Copeland on Ring of Honor?
We'd get Adam Copeland versus because Aaron's an Impact now.
Fuck it, throw him into
Good.
Impact.
Yeah,
He could show
get some
up.
matches.
He could show up on Ring of Honor,
Adam
and he
versus
could
Adam
challenge.
versus
Well, he could challenge, say, "I want a shot at your TV title." Samoa Joe, Adam Copeland, whatever pay-per-view they want to do it on, right?
Yeah.
Do it at Final
Easily.
Battle. Do it at Final
Easily
Battle
done.
in 2 months.
Ooh,
I would
Copeland
say
versus
whatever.
Casio.
I would say whatever story they're going to be running out of the gate will probably still be going by then because they're slow burning this one, and rightfully so.
We're gonna get a Copeland Jericho. We're gonna get that again.
We're going to get Copeland Christian without a doubt.
Oh, that's
Definitely
that's coming next.
Now,
that's definitely happening.
let's run through the card real quick, Davey, starting with the 0 hour.
Ooh, 0 hour. So first matchup was the mixed 8-man tag team match. Athena, Billy Starks, Keith Lee, Kojima. They defeated Diamante, Mercedes Martinez, Shane Taylor, Promotions, Lee Moriarty, and Shane Taylor. Quick sprint of a match, 5 minutes and 42 seconds.
They didn't get time at all.
Who got the pin?
Well, 0 hour is in fact an hour.
Yeah, who got the pin?
Yeah. Trying to remember now. It was I think it was Athena, I believe.
It was one of the ladies. That's what I thought.
I know Athena gave her finishing move to Moriarty. She nailed him with it. Well, Athena was in the ring with Swerve at one time. They had a fucking banger match on the Indies.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah. So that's nothing new for her. But I think that Athena and Billy Starks pairing, I think that story that they're telling.
Oh, it's working well.
I think that's going to lead to Billy being the one to take.
As someone who's interviewed Billy Starks, the passion and the love that she has for this business, what she looked forward to, this is everything she's wanted, and I'm so fucking happy for her.
And you can see that in her when she's on screen.
Yeah, every moment.
You know she loves what she's doing.
On TV.
And she's trying so hard not to corpse to show how much fun, even if she's doing heel things with Athena, she's trying so hard not to just show absolute excitement, a big ass smile, and trying to fucking run through the ropes.
I think what may happen there is Billy is going to be the one to take that belt off Athena.
Oh, I agree.
That's what I want.
Careful of the monster you created, Athena, because it might
100%
bite you in the ass, which I think could happen there.
How many minions she had? She forgot about the one she named.
Well, and then you get that belt off Athena and let Billy Starks run with it a bit. That could move Athena over to the AEW roster, which puts a whole spin on things. So that could be the path to get her there.
All right. Next match on the 0 hour.
Claudio versus Josh Barnett.
This is where I tuned in. Oh my lord!
Perfect. It was amazing.
Yeah, this was just an enjoyable watch.
Each other.
Yeah, that was just. It's like, okay, this is just one you just sit back and enjoy.
Now,
and they made Inoki proud.
The match doesn't matter, as Devin said. It was the post-match interview that Josh Barnett demanded a microphone and told Claudio that he knows Inoki-san would approve of him, and he loved the match that they just had. That was such a cool moment for someone like Claudio and Josh Barnett, who was a chosen student of Antonio Inoki.
Yeah.
So you imagine, after being in the business for 22 years, Claudio being able to hear that. Like how
that Antonio Inoki would be proud of.
I'm surprised he didn't cry. I would have.
Yeah. I would have cried.
That's enough to make a grown man cry. Not this man. Get back there and live here.
And Claudio has stated that he wants in a G1 too.
Yeah, so I would love to see him in a G.
Yeah, I would watch for that to happen. Probably the next one, especially where it's so expanded now.
Do you think Claudio's not going to re-sign once his contract's up and going to go to New Japan? Or do you think he's going to wait till gets a deal and works with New Japan while being with the other companies?
No, I think he'll stay with AEW. He's 42 now. Not that he can't handle what they do over in New Japan, but I see him staying where he's at because he can work New Japan anyway.
Yeah.
they said Tony sent Eddie Kingston over there. It's like, go do your thing, right? And that was
Yeah.
a fucking dream for Eddie. Like that's scratch that off the bucket list of what I want to do. You could see it in his face every time he was in the ring. It was magical to watch. Like just they say moments, right? That whole tournament for him was a moment.
Hey,
So,
being in the G1 for Eddie was probably the greatest thing. He was able to do so much in Japan.
and then to leave there with a belt.
Oh yeah, and then with more.
Yeah. Like he hit the last 4 years of his life must be just off the charts since he walked out and did that promo with Cody. Like things have just taken off for him so much. I couldn't be happier for him.
He deserved it.
Yeah, he does. Luchasaurus defeats Nick Wayne in another rather short one, 4 minutes and 55 seconds.
Well, did we expect Nick
No.
Wayne to beat Luchasaurus here?
No, I did not.
Especially with how they ended it at the end.
Especially where, like if you watch the shows and pay attention to them as for the 2 hours, you could kind of see Nick moving towards their direction anyway. So I didn't expect him to win this, right? The short match, like I said, a short match, 4:55. So, and then the last one was the AEW World Trios title match. The Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed defeat TMDK 9:22 match time.
Is Bad Dude Tito the worst name for a wrestler next to Action Andretti?
It ranks right up there. Fun match, which is what you could be expected with the Acclaimed. They're never going to be, confused with great ring technicians. These two.
No,
but they're over as fuck. They're enjoyable. Yeah, they're enjoyable to watch.
And they have so much charisma that they get the fans behind them. So that when that hot tag does come into Bowens or when that hot tag does come into Caster, it's so much more impactful.
Shit, they single-handedly made "He's Gay" the most loved and respectable chant that you could ever use someone saying "he's gay" with. When the whole what's her name?
Harley Cameron?
Yeah, when she was like, "You need a woman in your life, honey. Do you not see what I'm wearing and what I do? I'm gay. He's gay." He had 50,000 plus people chanting "He's gay" with nothing but love and respect.
And they moved that over to Rampage in order to give that segment more time, knowing what they were going to do. So it wasn't rushed. They wanted that message sent.
The Acclaimed, without a doubt, I did not like them at the start. And
I did.
Devin, Davey, and even Cap can attest to this. I was not a fan of the Acclaimed to start. These boys got something special.
Shit, I can't say really anything. I didn't like Andrade at first. At all.
Hold on. What's funny is that Bowens is gay, and Caster plays the gayest person with MJF on Twitter.
Yeah.
Role reversal.
I absolutely love it. Like they know exactly what they're doing, and both of those guys are going to fucking kill it in the professional wrestling world, if not everything beyond that.
Alrighty, we got 10 minutes.
All right. So we got MJF defeats the Righteous.
I was pissed at the ending of this, but I understood why.
Yeah. I thought this was how they were going to get it.
Yeah, there's more story to be told with this yet.
As long as the Righteous are the ones to take the belts off of them, that's what I want.
I see the Righteous taking the belts off of the Kingdom.
And MJF in the presser. I don't know if you guys seen it.
I saw it.
Full babyface.
Yeah, he is a great spokesman for that company. And the way he explained the things that he does in the ring.
Perfect.
Like the kangaroo kick and the double clothesline and
just
simple shit, right?
Yeah.
to be able to get that over to the extent that it has, without having to do, I forget exactly how he phrased it,
Where are
a
you going?
three-quarter McFlippy shit, whatever, right? He goes, anybody will pop for that. He said, but if you can get people to pop for a double clothesline,
You're doing something right.
yeah, like that's, and he said that's what I want to bring back. He said that was sorely missing from professional wrestling, and he's right. Like that was.
Oh yeah.
Eddie Kingston and Katsuyori Shibata. This was an
This-
absolute joy to watch.
This was absolutely nothing more than to fulfill something for Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
And it was exactly what it needed to be. And
Yeah.
it was perfect.
It was 10 minutes and 58 seconds. It didn't overstay its welcome.
And they beat the fucking shit out of each other.
Yeah. Job completed. Job done. Job well done. Right guy went over.
And Eddie Kingston got the salute from Shibata, which was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. So his absolute dream of a year continues.
Hey, you
Like-
love it for someone like Eddie Kingston, somebody who's fucking deserved this.
Chris Statlander defeats Julia Hart in 8:56. Very solid match. Nothing
And it's
spectacular.
the first loss for Julia since what, 2021?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one was I really thought she was going to walk away with it.
No, she's not. She doesn't have enough in-ring reps yet to start doing that. But the character development that she has undergone in the last year and a half,
the
2
in-ring
years,
work has been fucking incredible.
and her in-ring work is catching up to it. Yeah, so they're bringing the two things along to where they're gonna.
She is about to have the holy trinity in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Impeccable entrance theme, incredible gimmick, and very good in-ring work. She may very well become one of the better women's wrestlers that we've seen in the last several years.
Yeah, and she's getting better on the mic too.
Yeah,
Like she
doesn't even need that. With her gimmick, she doesn't need to fucking talk.
No, well, not talk much. You do have to utter a few words here and there, but
what she imposes in the ring is insane. Like what she's done the last several weeks with Willow, Kira, and fucking Sky Blue, it's incredible.
Yeah. And even the little things, like when they do that move in the corner, and Julia hangs herself upside down.
The spider suplex where she just hangs upside down.
She just hangs, and she's shaking her head very subtly, no.
But
her
the
opponent,
crazy,
right?
the crazy thing about that is you can kind of see that with the first one that she did, when she did it to Sky Blue, she was trying so hard not to smile because she knew that spot looked fucking incredible.
Yeah. Oh, she knows. Yeah. It's like, I'm fucking nailing this.
No,
You can
I was
tell.
about to say, she knows she's doing good, which only furthers her want to do better.
Yeah. And that kind of goes back to Billy Starks.
Exactly.
You can tell. Like, it's like, I'm so enjoying what I'm doing.
They know
Like,
what
it
they're
just-
doing. They know how they're doing it.
Yeah, but it just radiates from them. Like, yes, like you can see that. Like, I'm not going through the motions here. I'm doing this, right? And hats off to Statlander too. Like, she's having a very underrated run.
Oh, without a doubt, Statlander's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
On to the next match.
AEW World Tag Team Title #1 contendership 4-way match. I'm still scratching my head over this one. It was an okay match. Wasn't the greatest. It was a bit
I don't
messy
remember
at
this.
times.
I do not remember this match at all.
The Bucks winning. Like, I didn't
I
see
was
Hook and
cooking
Orange.
during that match, I think. I didn't pay attention
I was
to it
about
or
to say,
something.
I think Devin was cooking during that match, and I
Or
was
something. I don't remember that match
I
either.
was
Hi,
talking-
Storm.
I was talking with you guys during that match. Oh, Miss Storm,
Yeah.
hello.
Like the Lucha Brothers wouldn't have made any sense because Fenix got the international title now. So I counted them out.
Have
Book
the
and Orange.
Guns win. Have the Guns win.
Well, that's what I was. That was my pick, right? It's an anytime shot. Could be fucking double or nothing, right? It's in your back pocket.
Yeah,
Use
I
it
was about to
whenever.
say those boys could hold it literally until like the moment
They're not
those
free?
boys are the moment FTR are absolutely hurt.
Are you buying it?
No, it doesn't work as a cash in. Like
Oh, it doesn't work as a cash.
No. Like it's my match is going to be this night on a Dynamite or a
Okay,
Collision.
okay.
Yeah,
You said
works on that one.
you said any time. I thought that meant like a cash in.
Oh no, anytime. Like it doesn't. You won this match, so you get a championship match on the next Dynamite. It doesn't work in that way. It's just whenever. So there's no set date for it. So right now it looks like Bucks FTR 3, possibly.
As long as FTR goes over, if the Bucks hold fucking 4 belts together, I'm gonna be irritated.
They can't hold. No, that wouldn't, because they're the ROH Trios champions now. You can't have them run them both. That wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't make sense, but I could see the Bucks doing that just to piss people off.
Yeah.
Again, Davey, the only people in the Elite I have any issue with are the Bucks.
I've noticed.
Same.
And I loved the Bucks in New Japan. It's the moment they got power in AEW is where they fucked up.
Especially when they started using it.
Yeah, when they used their power. That's when I started falling out of love with the Young Bucks.
Shit, I used to watch BTE all the time.
I
agree with you there.
As long as they don't win,
if you're an active
AEW
performer,
tag titles while having the trios titles at the same time.
Yeah, if you're an active performer, that should not be in any job title you have to be able to book matches. Period.
Exactly.
I don't care who the fuck you are.
Omega, I'll give a pass because he only leads the women's division, and I don't.
Which is his smart.
I don't even think he leads that anymore because of how much shit he got whenever he was leading it during the pandemic era.
Because he was using fucking what's her name, and she's useless.
I think Davey will give you some shit about talking shit about Riho, but
yeah, she's fucking useless.
No, Rio's fine. She draws viewers.
I don't like Riho.
People watch her.
One of the worst female wrestlers that are supposed to be good.
The only thing with her is she's so tiny.
She's so unbelievable.
Right, and
everything about her.
But
no, hold on. The way they do things there, they try to make as much of it as believable as possible as far as in-ring stuff goes. Rio doesn't fit that.
The crazy thing about that is that's what allows her to do that weird no gravity, like 360 cross body bullshit.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I'm the same way. Like for me, it doesn't translate well for me.
Exactly
in that environment,
even against someone like Nyla Rose, against someone like Hikaru Shida, it doesn't make sense.
She couldn't beat a cockroach.
Oh, excuse me.
But next up is when the card really started to take off.
Oh, yes.
Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana defeats Adam Page in 20 minutes and 12 seconds. Swerve wasn't on the map before. Damn well is now.
Oh no! If Swerve and Hangman if Swerve and Hangman both aren't on your radar, what the fuck are you doing? Because both of them boys put on a fucking clinic out there.
Well, Hangman was anyway, just due to who he's associated with and the talent that he has. So he was already on the map.
Oh, but he's already on the map, but in Cap's case, like, that incident a couple of months ago, almost a year ago, that makes sense. He's had a year to take people's advice and to listen, and he has.
one incident does not define a career.
Exactly. And he's listened to people, and it's shown.
But the other thing that was shown in this match is that if they decide within the next 12 months to slap that world title on Swerve, he can very much carry it. No problem.
Yeah.
No
Could
problem.
you imagine? Because he's already worn the gold grill on TV. Imagine him holding the AEW title with his gold grill, just biting it. Like that visual alone would be fucking cold as shit.
Or he had an AEW championship gold grill.
Oh my god!
And-
like, there's so much shit that he can do with his appearance. Like, and he's already done it with the masks, with the massive fur coats. Swerve can take this championship and make it to a fucking royal status. Like,
He could be their
come out
Seth
looking
Rollins with their drip.
he could come out looking like a king, and it would fucking make sense.
And I shouldn't say if he holds it. I do believe he will hold that title. At some
Will
point.
hold this AEW world title.
Now, as to who he takes it off of, won't be MJF. He will have lost it by then. But if Jay White has it, they had teased.
Do you have a face Swerve taking it off of a heel Jay White? Because Jay White will never play face.
No, I think it'd be a
No,
double
Jay-
heel situation.
Yeah, so it may not be Jay White that he takes it off of. Although I would like to see that feud. I think that would be quite.
Jay White versus Swerve would be very good, but I would be very happy if it was a heel versus heel with no title involved.
It could be an MJF. Adam
Unless-
Cole turning on MJF.
Or unless Swerve plays a bit of a tweener and let the fans decide, you want to cheer me? Great. If you don't, that's fine too.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
could go that route and
Especially
just
with
kind
the
of blur
Swerve
those
Who's
lines
House.
because they blur a lot of lines. You know.
Oh, dude, especially, dude, he literally got the entirety of Wembley to yell Swerve's house every time he was like, whose house?
So here's a bit of
70,000.
he does it all the time. Sunday he was going to get it because where he was in Seattle, but
Defy his hometown.
But here's a little connecting of the dots, possibly. If Swerve has that title, we all know that Swerve has had issues with Darby. So they can circle back around to that.
Not
Wayne,
only that, if we do it soon enough, Swerve will become our first black AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And that's
I see
something
that
that we
happening.
fucking need.
I
is
see him
something
being
that
the
we
first
need
black.
early. Because
Oh, he-
WWE waited way too fucking long to put the belt on a black man.
Yes. But where I was going with this one was Darby versus Swerve. You will
Nick
have had
Wayne versus Swerve.
Nick Wayne versus Swerve, right? They have history because
You already said Athena versus Swerve on the Indies. How crazy would it be if they had a mixed match, world title match, just because Athena was like, "I beat you on the independents."
who is now all of a sudden buddies with Darby?
Are you pointing out that we're gonna get Killshot versus Edge?
Adam Cole. So you can connect those dots. It's not that hard to get there and have it make sense, right? Adam, after Nick has a bit of a heel run, Adam takes Nick back from Christian, right? Now you got to face Nick Wayne now under the tutelage of Edge, going after Swerve for the belt.
Which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So there's dots there that can be easily connected to get Edge into that title scene. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Instead of just, give him a belt.
Next match.
Next up, Ricky Starks, Wheeler, Utah.
Now, for some reason, I don't remember this match in the fucking slightest.
Matt, it's because you were hard stuck on Danielson and Sabre. Everything else was a blur.
I was about to say after that was immediately my favorite match of all time. And if it's not your favorite match of all time, you're lying to yourself. But continue, Davey.
Bit of a short one. It was only 9:53, so it didn't hit the 10-minute mark.
It wasn't memorable. It was not memorable.
It wasn't memorable, but it wasn't bad. Right?
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't memorable. I rewatched it today, and it wasn't bad, but it was not memorable. I still don't remember it right now.
Yeah. It got them on the card. Got kept Ricky in the line of sight. Right. Move on to the next one. Right. So, like I said, nothing great. Like I said, it's nothing you'll remember. In a week's time or possibly a few hours.
Alrighty, guys. I am gonna have to go. My earbuds are at 2%. And my phone's at 50. Both. My left is right. My left Jesus is at 5, and my right is at 2.
It's okay, D. Me and Davey can carry this on because I can guarantee I will have a long spiel on Danielson Sabre.
I bet.
Yeah, and that is the next match, Danielson Sabre.
All right, I love you guys. You guys have a good one, Dallas. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Deuces, guys.
See you, D.
I'll let you take the floor on this one because I could in no way describe this match better than you.
Oh, you might be able to, but from start to finish, Davey, you said this match went 23 and how many seconds?
The Danielson one?
Yeah.
23:12.
23:12. This might be the most glorious 23 minutes I have ever watched in my life, and I have now watched it 4 times. The professional wrestling technicality clinic that both of these men put on is second to none. Like the next match behind this for me is miles behind. My favorite match of all time was Triple H versus Shawn Michaels 04 Royal Rumble Last Man Standing. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. blows that out of the water by a fucking galactic mile. Like, there's no other way to put this. The technical exchanges both these men put on. Like, there was a solid 5 minutes of these guys just doing pin counters. And I've never heard a crowd more invested, and I've never seen myself more invested in people kicking out of pinfalls in my life or breaking out of submissions. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. may very well be the greatest match ever put together, ever. And if you have a better match than that, you're lying. Throw your Hogan Andres out of the fucking water. Throw your Rock Austins out of the fucking water. Throw your Cena Edges out of the water. Throw your MJF versus Punk out of the water. It does not matter. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Dream 2023 is the greatest professional wrestling match you will ever watch.
Yeah, like if you and that's exactly the way to describe it. It was a professional wrestling match, right? No big entrances, no big bells and whistles. It was just two guys at the very, very top of that game.
Bryan Danielson has been doing this for 20 years. And he has said after this match that match is exactly what he has wanted in his entire career. This man has wrestled
in that
fucking night.
Is that the backstage promo
that was the backstage promo that he did after the match. And he said this is exactly what he's wanted his entire career.
He almost broke down at the start of that.
Like,
you could hear his voice crack.
Like
that,
without a doubt, you know, ever since Zack Sabre Jr. put himself on the radar at least a decade ago, I've been watching Zack Sabre Jr. for a decade now.
Yeah.
ever since Bryan Danielson heard about him and saw what he was able to do, even against someone like Walter, someone like Suzuki, someone like fucking oh my god, Ishii.
Yeah.
The things
Well,
that Zack Sabre Jr. is able to do is shit that Bryan Danielson was wishing he could have when he was
Zach's been in
wrestling
the ring
people.
with everybody. Like he was in the ring
Zach's
with
been in the
Okada.
ring with.
He's been in Osprey, right?
He took Okada to his fucking limit just off of his submission ability alone.
Yeah. So Daniel, Brian
Zack
had to
Sabre
sit back for a long period of time and watch these things from afar, knowing I can't go do these.
Oh my god! With you saying that O'Connor roll into a reversal of another O'Connor roll into a reversal into the European clutch was the cleanest thing I have ever watched.
Well, they were seamless. Like I was in awe of watching that.
It was the greatest thing that I have ever sat there and watched. And I'm going to 100% be honest with you. I'm going to watch it fucking again right after we get off this stream. Because without a doubt, for anybody out there watching, if you are a technical wrestling fan, if you are a professional wrestling fan, Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., AEW's Wrestle Dream 2023, is the number one match that you should watch and study because both of those men knew exactly what they were doing at exactly the right moment, and it looked believable the entire 23 minutes. That ending where Sabre fucked up for a second and got hit with the psycho knee that set up that second psycho knee was absolutely incredible.
And the thing is, they're not done.
No.
There is going to be
I get a second dosage of this match, Davey, and I can't tell you how happy I am.
So I'm guessing
Wrestle
Kingdom. Because Zach said, I did it on your home turf, darling. So now I want it on mine. So that's only two places, really, big enough to do this. One is Wrestle Kingdom, which is new.
If it's at Rev Pro or Progress, I have to wait so long.
No, they wouldn't. No, because they did it through an AEW broadcast, so it'll be somewhere as big. New Japan would fit that bill. The only other place would get it on Zach's home turf would be All In, and I'm thinking that's going to be Nigel, right? But I'm thinking that's Nigel.
I think All In would be Nigel for a 10-minute exhibition match because Nigel can't do too much.
But this second match is going to be strict submission.
It has to be a submission match.
Yeah, because the two of them alluded to that. Because no strikes, no kicks, no. The only way you win is you submit me.
Oh my god! Hold on. If there's no strikes, no kicks, you will never see Matty Laws harder ever than watching a pure grappling submission match. Like if we see palm strikes to the ear, I'm okay with that.
But that's where I'm thinking this is going for the second one. Like just strict technical, and that style of match.
But they kept it. But the thing is, they kept it incredibly technical
till the end.
Whole match.
Yeah, and Brian said, he goes, I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I didn't find out who the best technical wrestler was because that's not how I beat you.
He did say that he beat him with the psycho knee, and he did that out of desperation because it was the one fuck up Sabre made.
Right. So he said, maybe I won the match, but maybe Zach is. key word there, maybe.
Maybe.
So that's where this second match is going, right?
Oh,
Now, if you do a style of match like that in Japan in the Tokyo Dome, those people will eat that up.
oh, bro, no.
Because
In the
that's their
Tokyo
wheelhouse,
Dome,
right? Yeah,
in the
that's
Tokyo
their
Dome,
wheelhouse.
imagine the silence that would happen when each of these men are delivering strikes.
Yeah, like they would
Oh
just,
my god.
yeah, like that will be a surreal experience to watch. So January 4th, kids, book your
Keep your
calendars,
eyes tuned because
2024.
it might very well be Danielson versus Saber. Now I
Yeah.
got to go take a quick piss. Davey, plug absolutely everything that you want while I'm taking a piss.
Let's see what we got coming up here. Well, we have Edge debuting this Wednesday on Dynamite. He's also going to be on Collision. So for all the Edge heads and the Adam Copeland fans, make sure you tune into that. His first match is going to be, I believe, October 10th against Luchasaurus. That'll be the Tuesday night episode of Dynamite. Fastlane is fast approaching. We have that one. Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura. I would look for Nakamura to take that one. We have the Judgment Day defending their unified tag belts against the makeshift team of Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso. So that should be interesting. And I believe LA Knight and John Cena going up against the Bloodline. Not sure what to make of that one.
I mean, dude, no. Looking at the fact that
a slow moving
Both-
affair.
well, both Usos are working with different tag partners, and I have absolutely no fucking idea how to feel about that.
I'm not even sure as to why, but they are.
Hey, we're gonna split you guys apart, but between you and me, we're gonna make you guys tag team still.
Yeah. Cody taking a little side trip on his finishing the Shori saga.
I have to
Tag
finish
belts.
the
You imagine?
story.
I don't see them winning.
Without
no,
a doubt,
they-
no, they're not winning.
No.
As a matter of fact, what about Jay turning on Cody just for shits and grins?
You know, and he might line up with the Judgment Day. Who the fuck knows? Like,
She kicks
I'll-
Dom away and brings
I'll-
Jay in.
no, they can't do that. Dom is not. No, because if they kick Dom at a Judgment Day,
Who's he gonna run
Well-
back to, Dad?
well, that would likely garner Dom support, and inadvertently, or maybe they would intend this, turn him face, and would also put him out on his own. None
Which
of
would be
these things
terrible.
none of these things are appealing or a good idea.
As a matter of fact, we're almost at the end of NXT. Do you have any idea how that's going?
The NXT? Nothing. Corbin was backstage with Dragunov. I don't know why.
So we're gonna get Corbin versus Dragunov for the NXT title. Absolutely lovely. Who wants
Yeah.
that match?
Yeah, there was other ways they could have.
Hold on. We can get an ode to Constantine into a deep six. That would be a really cool spot.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. I mean, it'll be an easy win for Dragunov, whatever, and like he'll give Corbin a great showing,
Oh yeah.
so it still builds him up a little bit. So I get the point of it. I'm just not overly interested in it.
Oh yeah. But
Yeah.
continuing on the
The Wrestle Dream. Oh yes, we have the 6-man tag match. The Don Callis family, Takeshita, Sammy, and William Ospreay against defeat Chris Jericho and the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Ibushi.
So I was in absolute euphoric bliss and a drunken stupor by the time the end of the Sabre and Danielson match happened. Davey, please give us an in-depth of what happened, because I do not remember.
This was kind of all over the place, this one. A couple of things to take from it, though. Sammy did look extremely well in this
Of
match.
course they were going
I
to
know,
make Sammy Guevara look well. I fucking hate that guy.
yeah. But that's the intention with this, right?
Oh, I want to kick him in the fucking face so bad.
Like he's in there, I'll borrow a line from WCW, I guess, but where the big boys play, you're not getting much bigger than Omega and Ospreay, right?
No, not much bigger than Omega, Ospreay,
Yeah.
Jericho. Like those three names are synonymous with the last 20 years.
Yeah, and Takeshita is another world champion waiting to happen too.
Oh,
He's only 28 though.
If Takesha's 28,
28, yeah, he's been
these
wrestling for
wrestlers are a lot older than I fucking think. I thought he was in his early 20s.
No, he's been wrestling for Jesus Christ, 15 years probably.
Yeah, I was about to say he's been
Long.
wrestling since he was 18, wasn't he?
Let's see, he's 28, 11 years. So he started at 17. So right around the time
Jesus.
Nick Wayne started.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, but that's why they're so good at this young of an age. They've been doing it for a decade. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
They just didn't show up. It's like, okay.
But the thing is both Nick Wayne and Takeshita grew up in completely different facets. Nick Wayne grew up with his family and grew up through that wrestling tree with, Darby Allin and everything like that. Takeshita grew up in the Japanese route. He didn't even go through the Young Lions route in New Japan. He went through the DDT route.
He did, yeah.
Which is much harder to make a fucking name for yourself. Look at Chris Brooks.
Jericho's going to DDT, by the way.
Are you kidding me?
I am not.
Who's he facing?
I believe it's Takeshita.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
But he's having a match in DDT. He said it on the press. He said it on the presser. I was like, "What?" I was like, "You're doing what now?"
That's actually incredible that Jericho's willing to go and do the DDT route.
Yeah. But he mentioned that when they showed up at, I think it was the PWG show, the JAS. He goes, "That was one of the most fun things I've ever done. Nobody knew we were coming. Nobody announced us. It just showed up, right?" But they had the opportunity to do those things, right? So good on them, right? But the Sammy inclusion on this I find quite interesting to see.
So Sammy Guevara is part of the Don Callis family.
He is, yeah. Takeshita, Sammy, and Will as of right now. Now from Don's.
Hold on. Does that make the entirety of the United Empire part of Don Callis' family?
I believe that would fall under the to be determined category.
Because if we see if we see Kyle Fletcher join them,
you won't see Mark. He broke his wrist.
I was about to say, hold the fuck on. That's a perfect way for them to get Kyle Fletcher on TV.
Yes, it is.
Because he's part of United Empire.
Yeah.
He's one of Will's lackeys.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect way to keep Kyle Fletcher on TV.
Keeps him active, keeps him in a hot storyline. Mark can take his time. Don't got to rush to come back.
Davey, the tag team of Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher would be one of the greatest tag teams that I may have ever heard of.
A tag team of Sammy and Will would be quite
Sammy
interesting.
I
know you don't like him, but the guy is talented, right?
He's as I said at the fucking first all in. He is so good for how much of a shit human being he is.
Yeah. But he can go. And like I said,
he can go.
They obviously like him.
Breaks his neck.
But they obviously like him because you don't put a guy in a spot like this with
TK was at the
these
dude's
guys.
wedding, so
Yeah. So they're giving him every opportunity to prove that he belongs in that echelon.
I as much as I hate Sammy Guevara, I can say that this pairing that he has with the Don Callis family, if he is going to be Takeshita's like number 2, this is going to be perfect.
No.
Because I don't think Will is a New Japan guy. We know this.
Yeah, Will's not. Yeah, like all the people dreaming of
all the people
Will is all
dreaming of
elite.
Will in
It's not
AEW.
happening.
No, as he said it himself, Japan is home. He has made his whole life and his plans out in Japan.
Yeah, he's comfortable there. It's not. He fucking hates the states, but he doesn't want to live. He doesn't want to live
He
there.
does not like the States. Hell, he doesn't even like Canada.
No,
And that's saying something.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Englishman has fallen in love with Japan. He has fallen in love with what he's been able to do with New Japan. Hell, they trusted him with the New Japan World Heavyweight Championship when they fucking first rebranded it.
And this has been the ongoing story that's been going on for several years now between Kenny and Will, right?
Exactly. Who is the Gaijin number 1 of New Japan?
So for them to finish that off at what will likely be Wrestle Kingdom, and then to have him leave would kind of defeat the entire purpose of literally everything.
And if Will loses that match at Wrestle Kingdom, that defeats the purpose of absolutely everything he has built.
Yeah. Or if he wins and then signs with AEW,
try to bring him to AEW? Are you fucking kidding me? New Japan, what are you thinking?
Yeah. So he would leave New Japan after beating Kenny and being crowned the guy, only to come to AEW and then to be behind Kenny.
So yeah, I was about to say he would come to AEW, be behind Kenny. And another thing is,
Kenny don't have another 6 years to tell the story again.
AEW would have let in the last 3 years their top 2 gaijin just say, "Fuck you, goodbye."
Yeah, no, Japan can't do that again.
Or would you say the top 4 gaijin because the Young Bucks also left?
No. Kenny, I kind of get because of the time, like
Kenny only has so much time left in his tank.
Well, Kenny left. Like what the show that we're talking about now, that opportunity to start all this presented itself. It's like, okay, I can't do this in Japan. I got to
exactly
right. So I know why he left. Right. Jay wanted to, and Jay wanted to live in the States. So it was just time, and I think Jay at that point.
Jay White wanted to live in the States.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Really?
But Jay had kind of done
hold on,
as much as he could there. I think.
Hold on. Jay White, my boy.
Okay.
As somebody that lives in the state of Colorado, I live in a studio apartment with my beautiful fiance. We spend $1,300 a month, and we have a hole in our roof. We have consistently dealt with leaks. What the fuck made you want to come out to the States, my boy? Anyway, Davey, continue.
I was just looking up something on there. That's what I had heard, that he wanted to come over this way. As for what he did everything in New Japan though.
Oh, without a doubt.
The guy was Grand Slam champion.
Title. He won the IC title. He won.
Yeah. So what else?
Did he win the open weight title? Or did he win the tag title?
Yeah. No, he won all of them.
Yeah, Jay White became one of the bright spots in New Japan. The match that he had with Kota Ibushi during pandemic, like right whenever they were letting fans back in. He was
Yeah, he
beating the
was.
shit out of Kota Ibushi. He pinned him, got kicked out at 2, and he started doing the claps. And nobody
Yes.
was clapping and cheering. And he looked at you, and he looked at Ibushi and was like, "I don't think they're that into you, mate." Jay
Oh,
White
and
became my favorite heel at that moment in time.
no, oh no, Jay's a special talent all around. But yeah, he
Oh,
did hold all the belts there. He had IWPG World, never open weight, Intercontinental, IWGP Heavyweight, IWGP United States. So he's held them all.
he won the U.S. title?
Yeah.
That was his first title, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2018
Oh my
for
god!
160 days. Yeah, so he's 5 times. You know, like when he says, "I am the only true Grand Slam champion," he ain't lying.
He's not
He's
wrong.
not lying, right? And you hold
And
belts over there, they're hard fought belts.
oh
Like,
no, without a doubt, like they and can I just point out, I witnessed Jay White as a young lion against Adam Hangman Page. That's when I first was laid eyes on him. I think that was 2017 or 2016.
so that would have been
It was when he was on
ROH
excursion. It was when he was on excursion.
over in ROH.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even at that time, I was like, this guy, I have no idea who he is, but he has everything.
Yeah, he has it. It's like you're drawn to him when he's
He
on the screen.
wasn't even playing a heel. He wasn't even exploring his entire catalog of what he does now.
And you know who he trained with when he went over to England to train?
I don't
Jamie
know.
Jamie Hayter. They're in the
So
same
they're
class.
they're of the same cloth.
Yeah.
So what you're meaning to tell me is Jamie Hayter is going to become one of my favorite women's wrestlers of all time.
It's possible whenever she gets back. I don't know.
What's the injury that she has? It's a shoulder, right?
It's an arm injury. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's putting her out for the remainder of this year, according to our friends over at Fightful.
Which really sucks. And yes, we can say our friends over at Fightful because I've worked with Sean Ross Sapp.
You have, yes. Yes, I have a great amount of respect for the people over there.
Oh, I have a great amount of respect for the people over there. I've worked with quite a few people over there, actually.
You have, yes. I've seen you on with Sean. I believe I've seen you on with Kate.
And Caden.
And Kate. We gotta get you on with Alex.
Oh, dude, me and Alex Pulowski would have a fucking riot.
Yeah, you got to do it like a guest host, fucking recap show or something.
Oh
with him.
no, dude. If Alex Pulowski invites me on, I would be so happy. Anywho, on to the next match.
FTR defeat Aussie Open in 20 minutes, 26 seconds.
Tag team clinic. Absolute tag team clinic. Mark Davis broke his wrist like halfway through this match and just fucking trucked on.
And then just kept going through it. Mark's a tough man.
This match ended with one of my favorite endings of the night, which was the Avalanche. I'm going to call it Big Rig because fuck you guys for just calling it the Shatter Machine again. It's the Big Rig now.
That was a bit of a miss on that, though, when they went to do it. It didn't quite click.
It did not, no.
No.
It really didn't, but it was a good match.
It was a good match. It didn't quite reach the heights of the one that they had
At
last year.
Royal Quest, right?
At Royal Quest, yeah. Didn't quite. That was fucking amazing, that one. So this fell a little bit short of that.
It's Dax's like second favorite match of all time, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
He's put out his like top 5 or something, which number 1 was Bucks at Wembley. Number 2 was Aussie Open. Number 3 was DIY. 2 out of 3 falls at Toronto. Which the fact that 3 of them span 3 different promotions is incredible.
But FTR, like they're building a resume that's really getting them up there on the all-time ranks for tag teams.
No, without a
Right.
doubt, I think by the time FTR ends, I can
Yeah,
say they might pass the Dudleys for me. Which, by the way, my top 3 are the Dudleys, Hardys, and Edge and Christian.
the Dax is 39.
FTR has maybe
Cash is
2 or
36.
3 years.
they
FTR
got-
has maybe 2 or 3 years to finish a legacy that solidifies themselves as the greatest tag team I've ever seen. And
Yeah,
if
number
they
one.
do it in a year, I will fucking give every flower I possibly can to FTR as the greatest tag team of all time.
Number one ranking for me is the Briscoes. Like, the stuff they were able to do was
Oh
just
my god.
fucking incredible.
The only thing is I watched all of the Hardys, the Dudleys. I watched all that shit live.
As it was happening, yeah. And
As
that kind
it
of goes
was
back to
But
and that kind of
I
goes
can-
back to what I was saying.
Edge
couple days
and
ago.
Christian and the Briscoes are actually tied at number 3.
Oh yeah, the Briscoes were, and no disrespect to Edge and Christian, like they're right up there on mine too.
No,
As are the
but
Hardys and the
thing
Dudleys, and
is over the years, and it's not even after the passing of Jay. Me and Devin are like 5 years apart. The Briscoes are only a year apart. Me and Devin looked at those boys and we were like, we can totally do what they do. And when we lost Jay, it was one of those things that took mine and Devin's perspective to a whole nother level. So we totally plan on eventually doing what they did, maybe better.
you mean wrestling?
Yes.
Ooh, I'd be interested to see this.
You never know. We'll see. We'll see.
Just please go to a promotion that I watch. There's a multitude to choose from.
I don't think me and Devin will sign with WWE. That's for a fact.
Okay. If you were on it, I would tune in live. But
No, we need time to do what we do. You
Right.
know me and Devin do stupid shit.
yeah, I don't think the language or the promos would fucking
Oh
make
no.
air. No, it wouldn't make air anyway.
So the thing is I'd be the talker. If we had Cap, he'd be like he'd be our real mouthpiece, and
Captain
D would
would
be the
be-
silent heavy.
Captain would be Diamond Dallas Page in AWA. He would be the manager.
Oh yeah.
Just talking. You're good at that. Keep going.
I just need to get really good with my technical work. That's all I need to work at. That's what I want to work at.
Oh, and just to circle back for a second on that 6-man tag match, Kota Ibushi.
What
What's your
has
thoughts on
happened
Kota?
to him? What the fuck has happened to him, Davey?
Yeah,
Has it been the
He's-
year and a half away from wrestling?
it could be a combination of it. He's not in the shape that he was, for one thing.
Well, no, he's
He's-
in the shape. He's in the
He's
physical shape that I remember him in New Japan.
But he's slow.
Put
Like,
him in a
he-
one-on-one match with one of the fucking Bucks, and I can
Mm.
guarantee that shit's gonna come back.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of factors
Do you
working at
think
the same time here.
Do you
and he-
really think that Kota Ibushi's falling off, though, Davey?
As of right now, yeah. Like, you know how they say so far so good? So far not so good with what I've seen.
Davey, though.
Yeah.
This
Like,
is
he's
our
not.
boy Kota Ibushi.
It is, yeah. But like even Remy noticed this Sunday too. Like, he's not. like even on his feet and stuff, like he's not sure of himself. Like he's stumbling and he's something's missing. I don't know if it's just the too much time off and then not having enough reps coming back because he hasn't wrestled a lot.
He really hasn't, no. Which he could have.
Like,
He
like
really
since
could have.
he's 41.
What was that
And
match that he had at Bloodsport?
he had Joey Janela
He had Joey Janela at Bloodsport, which
and he had Mike Bailey
so
back-to-back days. That's the
so
only two singles matches he's had.
and they were really good though.
But then they were in March, end of March 30th and 31st. So his next match was July 19th. That was Blood and Guts, which is not a standard match.
It wasn't a standard match, and he did bare minimum.
Yeah.
But the bare minimum also involved thumbtacks. It involved the cage. It involved a weird bed of spikes, which I do love from the death matches. But
like, you're not getting a true.
You're not getting
picture of what are you now?
The Ibushi match.
No. And then he did one in Glee.
Hold on. Put him versus Jay White. Give them 30 minutes on a random show and see what he can do in a one-on-one match.
Yeah. And there's history there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I loved Ibushi. I love Jay White. Jay White would be the perfect first rivalry for Ibushi.
Well, Jay's one of the best sellers in the game. Like
exactly.
He flops around like nobody.
And he's so vocal. Like Zack Sabre Jr. during the Bryan match. He was so vocal.
But every other match that he's had, though, all been 3-man elimination. One was and the only other one was a GLEAT, and that was an elimination. So he hasn't wrestled a ton this year. He's had 6 matches, and they're pretty well spaced too. So it might just be down to like not getting enough reps.
Do you think it's rust?
Oh, he's definitely rusty. Like all you gotta do is watch him.
So give him a match against someone like Jay White.
Well, he needs matches. Like you got to get back into the swing of what he's doing, right?
Okay.
Because he was off for 2 years prior to that too, right?
You got a good point.
So 6 matches from 2021 up to tail end of 2023. That's not a lot, right? And he's in there with some pretty top end guys that can move around pretty nimbly in the ring. So give it time, see what they do on the next one. What that next one is, though, I have no idea. They mentioned Takeshita as his next target, and then that got kind of turned into this 6-man. So maybe he just felt he wasn't ready for a one-on-one with him, which is possible.
Yeah. All right. Next match on the card.
And the last one, the AEW TNT title. Christian Cage, Darby Allin, 2 out of 3 falls.
This was another match where Darby Allin took unnecessary fucking bumps. That fucking body slam onto the steps.
Yeah, me and Remy were talking on this on the stream there Sunday.
Oh my god!
And him and I agreed. Remy and Ree agree a lot. It seems.
Rem is great. We love Rem.
Yeah. Like there's dangerous spots. I don't care what promotion you're in. There are dangerous spots all the time, right? They're going to happen.
But there are stupid spots.
That spot was a stupid spot. There was no need of it.
No, there was absolutely zero need for Darby Allin, who, by the way, weighs like 150, sopping wet.
Yeah.
To get thrown spine first onto a set of and they're not steel. We're not gonna fucking joke. They're not
No.
steel, but it's like
No.
aluminum tin combination.
Yeah.
Regardless,
But
back
the-
first onto metal.
yeah, and they're hard edges, right?
Sharp
Like
edges. They've cut
if
people.
if you want to do a step spot, fine. Flip it over, right? Have him land on the flat part of it. It's done all the time, right? If you
He
land
landed on the
if you land
fucking
right,
edge.
yeah. But he landed on the edge of the steps, and his arm took a big brunt of it.
Yeah,
If you
he
look back
put
and
his
watch it.
arm behind him, and regardless, no matter what bone you use to break that fall,
Yeah.
it's gonna fucking hurt
Like you
because you're taking all of your body weight and you're landing on that edge of the step.
yeah, you could have
Regardless,
very
Darby didn't land on like a flat part. Darby didn't
No.
turn himself to land on a good part of the steps.
no. Like you ever
He
slip down the
hit.
steps and land on your back? You know how much that fucking hurts?
Oh,
Like now times that by however high he was up initially to get to those steps. Now how much pain are you in falling down the steps? A lot.
it was a
Like
terrible,
yeah.
terrible spot.
And
And Darby
the
takes
risk
those routinely.
but the risk you're running, especially now, with how Darby has shot up the card, like he's a marquee name, right? You could have that spot could have put him out for months.
And he and
Easily.
he landed in a way that he fucking protected his spine, his spleen, his kidneys.
But there was other ways to go about doing that other than the way they did it. It was fucking stupid.
You could have done an prettier on the top of the steps, and it would have had the same effect of doing that fucking spot.
It would have got the same. Actually, it would have got a better visual because people wouldn't be talking about it in the
in the
negative
way that
way
we're
which they
talking
are.
about it right now.
Right. You would remember that spot more fondly.
Like if Darby Allin were taking him prettier, even on the second step where his shoulder lands on the top step in a weird way,
Yeah.
it would have been better than
So
essentially a fucking Michinoku driver.
so whoever greenlit that needs their fucking head slapped hard twice.
Because that was not safe at all, and that guaranteed took a little bit off of Darby Allin's in-ring time.
Well, and Christian had a stall.
He waited till Darby was ready, and even then it didn't look good.
No, like it didn't help the end of the match in that sense.
But
Christian stalling with taking the
if he would have done it off of like the moment he got him up in the body slam position and just jumped off.
Yeah, like I said,
Like if he would have went
ways
immediately, like Christian at least waited till he was ready.
Yeah. Oh no, well, Christian's enough of a veteran to know. It's like, okay, I got to stall here.
Even then, it was such an ugly bump. But at least we can move on to the end of the match, which was Christian Cage winning because Nick Wayne did a good old heel ski turn on his good friend Darby Allin, which is very understandable, as Davey said.
Yeah, like they've been laying the groundwork for that now. Little hints here, little hints there. So if you're watching, you can kind of see it coming. It's like, okay, if they do this, it'll make sense as to why he did it, right?
Which also the Darby Allin taking AR Fox in as well was a big thing.
And Darby did have a falling out with Buddy in real life.
Yes.
which Nick will be aware of.
So
So
there's a
like
lot of
they,
story to Nick Wayne turning on Darby Allin.
yeah, like they.
But
One thing they do there, I find, and they do it quite well. They'll blur the lines between reality and kayfabe, and they'll blend them.
without a doubt.
Yeah, like they're now. You have to know they're doing it.
Because
Is the
because
thing.
as we know, Cash Wheeler had that charge against him. We were worried if he was going to get to Wembley in the first place. He got to Wembley, and many people thought that the Young Bucks were going to take the titles off them, but they didn't. So the AEW is very good at blurring the lines between kayfabe and reality. And
Well, speaking, and part of that is they acknowledge this stuff.
yes,
If you acknowledge it, and you don't alter it, then you can use it because people can actually go back and check this stuff. It's like, oh, that did happen. That is like and it ties in, right?
now
But
Davey, you used a very interesting word in that sentence. You said
Did.
alter.
Oh, alter history?
Alter Bridge
Yes.
is the
Ooh,
same
look at you with the
band.
tie-in. Look at you go.
Seamless segue.
Yes.
Alter
Excellent.
Bridge is the same band that played the music that brought back the rated R superstar Adam Copeland. Well, I can't say brought back.
Yeah.
Made his
Brought in.
debut. Brought in to AEW the rated R superstar Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland.
What a promo package that they put together for him, by the way.
And that was done the day before. Him and Darby
It
went
was
out.
done the day before.
Him and Darby went out in the car. He said this was on the media scrum afterwards. He goes, he's hanging out the back. Edge was hanging out of the back of the car with the camera shooting. They put it all together in that short amount of time. He kept himself under wraps, and he said he went out for a cheeseburger, and some kid saw him, and he went, shh. Never said a word.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But he seems very happy to be there, and his choice of words were interesting on that media scrum because I feel free.
He
Interesting
said
choice of words.
he said quite a bit. Now, David, go ahead and fill us in on what he said.
Well, he's full time. Like he's not you'll see him Wednesday and then you won't see him again for 3 weeks. Like he's there full time to do his stuff. He wants to. One thing that he said is he wants to help. He wants to get in there and help. He wants to make a difference, right? From the way he was talking, it's like that was not an option that was available to him with his previous employer. That's just speculation on my part. I don't know. Nothing's been reported on that other than what Ed said in his media scrum, but it's the impression that I got from it, just from the way he spoke and the words that he used. Right. But very happy to be there, though. So, like, if he stayed with that company, like the effects that he could have could last years. If they get him in the right role. You imagine Danielson booking one show and Edge booking another, with the amount of creativity those two have.
Edge booking one show and Danielson booking another. Like we've got Collision and we got Dynamite. Yeah, Rampage is in the middle, but if we have the two major shows getting booked by one person apiece, who've both seen major rating spikes.
You could have. You remember when Paul took over SmackDown?
He
And
got
Raw,
rating spikes, man.
he did. Yes, and he set out to do that. Because I'm going to beat Raw. Like, you set up something like that, those two would go back and forth trying to outdo each other. You know, like
Without a doubt.
you have that dynamic there now, right? They're well, and like Edge is so well thought of, like in the business. Like he's just regarded as a good guy. Like there's no
Oh
back.
yeah.
I don't recall in the entirety of his career ever hearing anything about him backstage or anywhere for that matter in any kind of derogatory way.
Oh no, not even in the
The guy's,
slightest.
no,
Like
the guy's
yeah,
been doing
he
it over
was
20 years.
he
You
he
know,
was a little bit political, but he still not horrible.
uh, but that was the way they debuted him, where he the chair from Christian. Still wasn't sure. Is he face? Is he heel?
Oh
Where's he
no,
going?
I
Who's he
was
with?
worried that we were gonna see a concerto. I really was.
And then when
Because
Christian backed
we
away,
know how deceitful Edge is.
well, and they played into that too. As soon as Christian gave him that chair, Christian backed away right away. It's like if you're planning on swinging this, I'm now out of range. Swing it at somebody else. My only friend Luchasaurus, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was a little thing too, right? And as soon as he swung it at Christian was fucking gone. He was up that ramp.
He knew Edge was gonna hit him with it.
Yeah, but that was really well done. You know, and like he said in the scrum too, he goes, he had never been in a ring with Sting until that night, ever.
Which is crazy.
Considering how long those two have been in the business, to never be in a ring with them. You know, but uh, but Edge basically, he asked his girls, his two dollars, what do you think I should do? Go be with Uncle Jay and have fun. That's what they told him.
That's so cool.
So that's what he's going to do. Why people bitch about that, I don't know.
Hey, dude, because people can't be happy for other people. I've noticed that in life. No matter what people want, other people are going to be unhappy with their decision. Whether it be current political decisions, whether it be wrestling decisions, whether it be sports decisions, no matter what, if someone's trying to be happy, no one else is going to be happy.
No, and it's ridiculous, most of it. Count programming for next Tuesday. Asuka versus Roxanne will go head to head with Hikaru Shida versus Saraya, plus Edge's first match against
Time
Luchasaurus.
the fuck out.
Luchasaurus.
Time the fuck out. Did you say Asuka versus Roxanne?
Yep, according to this.
That should be an incredible match for Roxanne.
Now, I wonder. Saraya is on that card.
Saraya versus who?
What are Saraya versus Shida? What, going head to head with NXT, what are the odds of Saraya's next opponent showing up in a Mercedes?
The fact that they did not do it at Wrestle Dream.
Well, they didn't have.
Would they do it on a Dynamite?
Wouldn't surprise me. Because you could do stuff like that. Like, it's not above Tony doing things like that. Because he books some of his shows as if they are pay-per-views. the way
I'd
some of them
say
are
yeah.
set up.
I would say yeah. Sasha is going to appear on Dynamite.
So, like I said, and I have no word on that from anywhere or anybody. That's just a speculation. But given the history that Saraya and Mercedes have, because as we know, Saraya's last match in WWE when she hurt her neck, Sasha was in that
against
match.
Sasha.
Yes, it was. So, payback's a bitch.
We've got a very interesting week of wrestling ahead of us, without a doubt.
And that's just a possibility, right?
Yeah.
If Mariah May comes in, maybe she's the one that goes after Statlander.
That would be very impressive because she's kind of already said goodbye to Japan as a whole.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's done with Stardom for the time being, anyway.
Yeah.
I could see Mariah going there, going to WWE or NXT. It wouldn't make any sense because it would be like Tiffany Stratton was looking in a mirror. They would have two of them,
Oh yeah.
and I would be terrified as to what the fucking Barbie twins or something. Who knows?
Oh yeah. No, they would put him in a tag
Oh.
team without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, and more counter programming. Major announcement from Cody Rhodes on NXT.
What?
They're AEW and NXT are on the same night next week, so
You said
they'll be
Cody
fucking-
Rhodes on NXT?
yeah, a major announcement from Cody Rhodes.
Oh
NXT.
fucking K.
So they'll be pulling out fucking all the stops. They might even dust Roman off wherever he's at. Throw him on there.
Oh fucking K.
Roman, can you come into work?
But-
I don't think so.
But Davey, overall for
Oh, hold on. There's more. John Cena is going to be in Carmelo Hayes' corner next week when he faces Brock Breaker on NXT.
what are they doing on NXT?
And next Tuesday, Adam Copeland will go ahead with that's just with Luchasaurus.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but those shows will be that.
fucking Lord.
Those two shows will be that stacked next week. They might as well just fucking charge money for them.
That is
And
absolutely ridiculous, man.
And you know what'll happen if NXT beats them in the ratings? Oh look, our developmental. It's like no,
Yeah,
it didn't.
they
You have
beat our developmental.
John Cena, Asuka, Cody, fucking who knows
Like,
else.
y'all have three of your top stars that are always on your merchandising. On the screen.
Guess what? It was a developmental show. Oh. And the show in question that we just went over, as always, had quite a bit of wrestling on it. Wrestle Dream, the main show, it was 3 hours and 58 minutes. It featured in-ring action for 68% of the show.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Because
As
you have to think
comparison-
into the introductions and the start of the show.
Yeah. The ending, which was a few minutes. As a comparison, Raw last night got a whop 22% of the show featuring wrestling content. Is what it is.
Well, Davey,
Matty,
Wrestle Dream, as a total show, what would you give it as a whole?
a total show? I would probably give that one 9 out of 10. Like it was just fucking enjoyable start to finish. No match that really under delivers, and there's 3 of them that could be easily top 10, like for the year,
And
which
one of
seems
them
to
that
be
could be number
it-
one for eternity.
for forever. Yeah. But I mean, it just delivered. It flowed. It flowed well.
Without a doubt, that show is a 9 out of 10. I agree with that. But it had 1 10 out of 10 match on the card that might last for the test of time.
Which I shocked you with, because I never give them.
No, you never give matches 10 out of 10. And
You have to.
I've given a few matches, top ranks, but without a doubt, that is the greatest wrestling match I have ever seen.
Yeah. No, you were floored when I said that. And, but I mean, like, it advanced storylines. I mean, the matches were top notch. It flowed well. Like, you weren't sitting here 20 minutes waiting for the match start yet. Nope.
It was a wrestle dream, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, Davey, before we go off air, is there anything you would like to plug or point out before we go?
I believe we're the football follies on Sundays with the RAWBall podcast. Don't look for us for the early game.
We're not going to be there for the London game. I promise you.
No.
That. I work.
No. We'll have to teach Remy American football, and we'll get him to do the first couple hours or something. I don't know. I don't think there's any pay-per-views this weekend that we got to do. To the best of my knowledge,
I hope not.
Fastlane is next week, I think.
Okay.
I think this is kind of a down week. What is today anyway? The 3rd.
Well, it's not a down week for me. Next week I got tomorrow I got Greg Cherry show. This Thursday I got Crew Day.
Oh shit! No, hold on. Fastlane is this weekend, 7th.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Of course it is. What day is the 7th? Is it a Saturday? Please be Saturday.
If it's a Saturday, we're not covering it. I promise.
It is. It is a Saturday. I'm not
covering it.
I'll be on with somebody doing that. Most likely Remy, possibly
I'll
Shug.
set something up for you and Remy and Shug. I ain't gonna be there. I promise you.
Fuck, man! I gotta watch 2 shows again at the same time. Like,
what's on Saturday?
Collision is on too. I pulled double duty last time. Well, Edge is going to be on air, so I got to see what's going on that. And the Collision has been killing it lately, so. I just got Fastlane on one side of my screen and Collision on the other. And
so what you needed to tell me is we've got a long week streaming.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's not on like Sunday, because that's long. Yeah, that's long. Yeah, nothing going on Sundays.
Sunday beat our ass.
That was a long one. Yeah, that was a long one.
But I will say thank you for everybody for tuning in on Sunday. Thank you for everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you for everybody tuning in on Thursday. Thank you for everybody tuning in tomorrow for the Greg Cherry Show.
Yes.
I want to remind you all to stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated, ball out with the RAWBall podcast. And we'll be here more than likely next Thursday for the next episode of Crew Day.
Yeah. Oh, and Paul Heyman will be in Braun Breaker's corner next.
Are you fucking kidding me?